Shields up, Ironbreakers. Hopefully you're all doing good. I'm coming in with another episode of Kast. I'm here with FightinCowboy. Today we're going to be talking about 2023 in gaming and a couple of other topics we haven't spoken in a while. How have you been doing, FightinCowboy?
I've been good. I thought you've been busy cheating on me with other podcast guests.
What do you mean? I was talking to Tragic. What is that supposed to mean?
It's been months, Ruri. Leaving me to support these kids by myself.
It's like there's been, actually, I don't even know how many podcasts it was since I last spoke to you, but I think it might have been like 2 podcasts. I haven't done a whole lot of them. I've been slacking. Like ever since we got over Lords of the Fallen, I don't think I've really done much work in terms of
your
content.
winter hibernation started early.
Yeah, my winter hibernation. It's just like it's been too long of a year for me, dude. So I was
all that English is catching up to your heart.
It is, dude. Like, oh, I'm about to have a friggin' heart attack. No, but it is very tiresome, dude. I've told you about the English thing, and it makes my chest hurt, and you know.
It's so funny. It's just hearing it.
One of these days, dude, I'm gonna be recording a video, and I'm gonna die, and you're not gonna think it's so funny then, will you?
Like, holy shit!
As he's laughing.
English is brutal, apparently.
It's a really metal language. So
we do have a lot of like confusing things in English, to be fair.
Listen, it's not even about it being confusing. I will tell you right now, I speak 4 languages, give or take: Portuguese, Spanish, French. French is like my worst one, and English. And out of those 4 languages, English is by far the easiest one, and it's not even close to any of the other ones. It is so easy.
Well, the thing with English, though, is we have a lot of confusing slang. Like,
yes. Like,
I for example, you'd be like, oh, that's shit. That means that's bad. That's the shit. That means it's good. Like, it's like, wait, what? Like, you said the same thing.
It's not the same thing. It's very different when you add the in front of it. Yeah, for sure. But we were talking ahead of the podcast about this recent controversy that's been happening over on Twitter. It's the developer of a video game. I think it was called Spirity or whatever.
Yeah. It's like Harvest Moon meets Miyazaki Spirited Away or something.
Yeah. And so this person was, I haven't even followed that too closely because I'm just like, whatever. I don't care that much. But apparently it's something about how he was upset that his game didn't get as much coverage on YouTube because he didn't pay for it or whatever it was. Something along those lines. And apparently there's been like tremendous amounts of discussion about the morality and the ethics of people receiving keys. And you were telling me about this discussion you're having on stream yesterday. So tell me more.
So I think the thing is, I've read over that tweet, and he seems to blur the lines between, like, because there's basically three categories I would bump. There's review keys, where, you know, the idea is, hey, let's say a game launches on December 1st. You're going to receive a key probably around about now, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit later. They're like, hey, here's your review key.
If it's a review key, you would ideally want it at least like 2 weeks in advance.
Well, at least, but
we're not all machines like you. We're not all machines like you, Cowboy. We can't
a week is usually what ends up happening. If it's a dev that has their shit together, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that's, hey, this is your key. Like, this is the date you can start uploading stuff, December 1st. And that's it. You get the key, you're given a date you can upload.
I'll tell you something, though. There was a time where with Nintendo Portugal, I had the equivalent of media access. I used to get stuff sometimes 2 months in advance. See, that's
a long time in advance.
Yeah, dude.
That's like before games have gone gold and everything.
Yeah, no, dude. You could get stuff really early. Nowadays, Nintendo's like, because of all of the leaks and stuff, Nintendo just like completely closed off. You get it day of. Not even like midnight day before. It's like, no, you get it day of. And I was like, oh, okay.
But so that's bucket one. Bucket one is review keys. They typically come early. And then you have what I would call content creator keys. Those are typically like at launch, maybe the day before. Hey, here's a key for our game.
Yeah.
Please check it out. Hope you have fun. The expectation with the review key is usually you're going to do a review. You are a media outlet. The plan is for you to play the game, upload some form of coverage, detailing your experience with it, your truthful experience with it.
Yeah.
With the content creator key, sometimes it's like, hey, we're giving you this, you're playing it, right? Other times they just drop them into your inbox and they're like, hey, take it, play our game, check it out.
Yeah.
And then you have sponsored coverage, which is specific. We're going to give you a key for the game. We expect you to do a 120-minute video and a 2-hour stream. We need
and we'll pay you for it.
Yeah, we're going to pay you. We need 2 accompanying social tweets that are boosting. And that content is all flagged. On Twitter, it's going to have hashtag sponsored, hashtag ad. On YouTube, you're clicking the little button. So viewers see the pop-up that says like, this is a paid advertisement. On Twitch, you get the this is sponsored content flag, all that stuff. Anyway, this guy tweets out a thing talking about how YouTubers aren't playing his game. And it's because he didn't want to pay anybody. And basically put everything in the paid bucket.
Yep.
So then you had YouTubers and content creators that are like, well, if you want guaranteed coverage of your game, like, you're compensating us for our time. Like, this game looks cool, but like, what's, incredibly busy season right now. Tons and tons and tons of games coming out. I mean, more backlog than anything. The sheer volume of games we've seen in like the last 3 months has been absurd. And, if you're going into that with the expectation, everybody needs to look at my game. You better have some advertising money, because that's what it is. You're paying to get coverage. Otherwise, I mean, you could feel free to distribute, 1,000 keys and hope people are like, oh yeah, this looks cool, I'll check it out. Like I'll frequently do, because I'll wait until I have like 3 or 4 indie keys built up,
and you'll do like an indie stream. Yeah,
I'll do a showcase. I'll look at each game for about 30 minutes if I'm vibing with it more, if I'm not, less. And it's just let's check this out. Is it something that vibes with me or not? But if you're going to send a key and you're like, I want coverage, I want you to put this on your channel, I want to tap into your audience to sell this, and you're like, I need you to do a stream, the expectation is that's paid coverage, because you're basically securing. Because the question is to me like, well what's, I have tons of different games on deck. I'm playing a co-op run of Lords of the Fallen right now. I just wrapped up Remnant 2. I want to play some Inkbound. So why should I play your indie game over all these other games that I'm already enjoying? Well, if I'm being paid to play it.
And it's not, and here's the thing, you're saying indie game because this specific developer, in this case, was an indie game. But I can give you an example of a AAA game that would have been in the exact same situation and probably suffered from the exact same problems this year, which was that EA magical shooter something.
Immortals of Avium.
Immortals of Avium. They probably had the exact same problem where they didn't see enough coverage from content creators because they released it in the middle of a really stacked month. Because, like, for instance, I wanted to check it out. EA even reached out to me like, hey, we can send you, like, early codes and whatnot. And it's like, bro, I can't. Like, there's too much happening.
Yeah, you're go right check in the middle of Baldur's Gate and Armored Core, dude.
What do you want me to do? I'm not gonna do it. So it's like, in those situations, if they really want to guarantee, that they get access to someone's audience, they need to pay, because they're releasing in the middle of something that's really busy. We're all busy covering different stuff, and it is what it is. But
and sometimes you get like, I had a good example. I got a sponsored Starfield episode. Like, I had plans to check out Starfield regardless, because I was like, it's Starfield.
Yeah,
I want to see, is Bethesda slowly dying here, or do they still have some magic? And they had me record part 1 of the Let's Play. And I told them, I was like, I'm going to stream this entire game, but if you want an episode, I can do a sponsored episode 1, but beyond that, I'm just going to stream it on my own time. And so the first hour of my Starfield experience was recorded. That's sent to them. They review it. There was like an edit in it, because when you're going through the perks, there's you remember? Did you remember like the starting perks in Starfield?
They were kind of crappy. I remember that the starting perks were not
well,
very
there was one, and I was reading, and I was like, you start with a mansion on blah 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 planet, but you have
wait, that's
a weekly cost of 100,000 credits. I was like, gross.
They didn't like that.
They were like, can you please remove the gross? And I was like, whatever, sure. So instead, the video just has an awkward pause where I edited out gross and then kept going through the rest of them.
That's such a weird thing, because like let's just say nobody actually cares. Nobody sees that as negative. It's just PR being overly sensitive about something. Nobody actually cares. That's such a. Could you please just remove the part where you said gross? Like, why?
Yeah, no one cares. It's an hour-long video. No one's gonna catch this. But so that's
were you allowed to swear at least, or was that?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, everything else was fine. I was running around like teabagging NPCs and swearing and shooting stuff. But calling the perk gross, that was too far. But that's the thing. They, it was they're paying for that. They're like, please don't say it's gross. Okay, yeah, I'll remove the gross.
Fine.
And that's the expectation with paid content is you're not going to actively disparage the game. Like if I'm being paid, I'm not going to be like, yeah, this game is shit. Look at this shit. Look at this playing this garbage.
The thing is,
like, why are we paying you to disparage this product?
You're not going to do that on the sponsored video, but you can do that in the following videos because they're not sponsored anymore. It's just that simple.
Well, and the other thing too is if it's typically like if I'm going to take a paid gig for something, it has to be something that I already have plans on playing, or I'm more than likely going to enjoy, or it's a fat fucking payday.
Yeah.
Like I did 2 raid streams. I think it was like last summer.
I hate you, dude. Jesus Christ.
They were dropping a 5-figure bag.
I know the way that they work, dude. I've
and so the whole stream, I was like, we're playing raid today. This is a thing. There's a sign up link. You can click that if you want.
God damn.
Don't let your kids near this. And like people were like, the whole stream, people were like, well, do you recommend it? I'm like, I recommend you watch the footage and decide for yourself. As soon as I hit my hour, I was like, and we are now done with raid time. And then they came back the next month and they were like, we want you to do it again. I was like, same pay rate. They're like, we'll do it. I was like, let's go.
Oh my God, dude. It's because like I've told people, and I think that people sometimes don't believe me, but I was like, listen, if I was to take up Raid Shadow Legends on the money that I've been offered for them and the amount of times I've been offered said money, I could have bought a house by now. I never did.
Yeah, they
pay well. They do.
They pay insane. And I think the thing too is like, especially on your audience, like my audience knows I'm not going to play fucking raid.
Yeah.
But I can play it for an hour and not actively. I'll play it for an hour for that bag, and people are like, what do you think about it? I'm like, I think it's a game.
I don't even think it's a game.
Very, very mediocre, kind of middling the line statements. But like, I am fulfilling my contract obligations, sir. Please pay me now.
But like getting back to the whole thing. So there's sponsored content, there's review content and whatnot. There's all of this stuff. The thing that annoys me is the way that a lot of people, they'll come in, which I'm assuming is the discussion you got into last night. They'll come in and they'll go like, well, if you've gotten a key for a game, then you've already gotten paid. And I was like, how, what do you mean? Well, you got the key. And I was like, well, I hope you take that exact same energy to IGN, to GameSpot, to literally every fucking publication under the sun, because they don't. Because somehow IGN and all of these, they're impartial. But content creators, when we get a key, we're biased. I was like, bro, get the fuck out of here with that.
I like the argument. They're like, well, you've been paid. It's sponsored. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to call my mortgage company and be like, yeah, listen, I'm not making my mortgage payment this month, but I got a key for that game early. So you can check out my Super Mario content. I think we're square for the month. Like, that shit ain't going to fly.
No, but it is something that I find very hypocritical, that it's people just don't understand the way that, you know, the whole system works. Because like IGN and all of these publications, they receive games. And then there's this thing that apparently has happened to some people where they say that they've been blacklisted because they've talked poorly about a video game. Have you ever had a publisher not send you games because you've given a negative review of their video games?
Bro, I have given a negative review of almost every Bloober Team game I've played, and they keep sending me stuff. Bloober Team?
I don't know.
Like, they make like weird horror games. Like, what was the last one? Let me look up some of the stuff they did.
But it's like for
instance, Layers of Fear. Layers of Fear was Bloober Team.
In my case, I took a dump all over Battlefront 2. I've criticized, I don't know, there's like a ton of EA games that I've criticized.
Did you play Medium?
No.
I got like 2 hours into it and was like, I can't do this. But every time there's a new horror game, Bloober Team is like, Cowboy, thank you for your coverage. And they said, so it doesn't matter that I'm like, this isn't my thing. I don't enjoy it.
I believe
it's the coverage. The thing is like, so if you play a game, if 2 people buy the game because they saw it on your channel, they already have, I mean, even if one person buys it, because the cost isn't actually $70 for them, for that key.
It's
That's
way less.
the markup.
Yeah.
So if you even sell one copy, you're already generating more value than what that key was worth.
Yeah. And the thing is, I do believe that some people have probably gotten blacklisted, because sometimes you have some people in front of PR that are just dumb. Like some local people that are like, oh, this guy badmouthed my game. Fuck him. I've criticized games. I've never really like been held back by anything, and I haven't been blacklisted by anyone yet.
I think blacklisting, the majority of blacklists I'm aware of are because of repeated embargo breaks and
yes.
leaks.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like you signed the thing, you said you weren't going to share info, you kept sharing info, you were no longer receiving early access. And then usually they're like, they blacklisted me because... No, they blacklisted you because you can't follow the damn rules. It's simple. You were given this with the expectation you were going to keep
and the thing is, usually what happens in those situations as well is a lot of PR people, they talk to each other. So it's like, if you're blacklisted by one person because you broke an embargo, chances are there's going to be a lot more people that are going to be aware that you did that shit. It's that simple. But yeah, just to wrap up the whole subject, it's just a situation where, look, content creators get sent keys. If you believe that a content creator is basically going to shill a game simply because they received the key, you shouldn't even watch that content creator, because you clearly don't trust them. It's just that simple. Just don't watch them. If you think that...
I just think that's funny. People think a $70. Yes, that $70.
Yes.
I had somebody in chat. They like donated $70, and I was like, "Well, that's it, chat. This stream is now sponsored by. This is now the Urez stream. He's sponsored it. All hail Urez, the best viewer. The rest of you suck. He's the best." Ridiculous.
Yeah, it's something like really ridiculous. Another thing that I want to ask you about. This is just something that I've noticed. I mean, it's not a recent thing. It's just something that I've noticed over the months, and sometimes you get the occasional comment on it, and because I mention it on streams and stuff. Like, have you seen how many videos we've had this year that people make specifically going like, modern gaming is terrible. Modern gaming has gone downhill. It's so bad. Modern games are completely atrocious.
I'm going to see if I can find the Reddit post. This was like copy pasta worthy. I was in bed. Where is it at? It was so... Oh, here we go. Honestly, I don't even know what games are out right now. I don't count them as games. How can I? Games are meant to be fun, but the current slop out of the market, nah, that's not fun. It's just trash made to entertain children. I'm a grown man. What I need is games for grown men. Games with a serious tone that don't have anything political. Games for adults that let us escape the realities of the modern world. Kids don't need to escape it. Grown men with the weight of the world on our shoulders do.
Oh no.
It's time we deliver an ultimatum to gaming companies. They'll have to choose between making silly games for little kids or making games for serious gaming men.
I guess the women don't get to play.
My favorite thing is games with serious tone that don't have anything political, and in the background is like Witcher 3, Fallout 3, BioShock, Call of Duty. Like, BioShock, the famously non-political game. Yes. Definitely no political themes there. The Witcher 3, of course. I don't remember anything related to politics in The Witcher 3.
Oh my god, dude. No, but it's like, the reason I bring it up is because it's a sentiment that I feel like a lot of people constantly talk about. And to me, it's more like, I think the people that talk about this, they definitely feel that way. But I think that they're basically the people that just play their Call of Duties and their FIFAs and their Maddens or whatever, and that's it.
Variety gamers are eating so good this year. It's
exactly.
They want to play like 2 games and then they're upset.
See, that's the thing. Like, I've even said that if this year there haven't been at least like 3 games that you've really enjoyed, I'm just asking for 3. If there haven't been 3 games that you've really enjoyed this year, I just don't think you like gaming anymore.
You just don't like games anymore. There were
You've
3
grown out of it.
games alone this year that I really enjoyed. 3 indies. So many good games this year.
There's been a ton of good games this year. And speaking of that, I'm going to be bringing up a couple of games to give you just like a rapid fire type of thing where these are all games that I've played this year. And if you want to bring something up in the middle of that, feel free to do so. I'm going to go kind of like almost by order of when I play them, just to get like your quick opinion on it. Hi-Fi Rush, did you play that?
I did.
You didn't?
No, I did. I enjoyed it.
It was really
I
good.
didn't finish it on. It was hard for me to stream it.
Yeah,
anything
because
that's a
the
rhythm
delay.
game, it's hard because you're so focused on the hitting your timers that you kind of ignore chat. It would have made for like a good Let's Play series, I think, but there were other games at the time I was covering for Let's Play content.
I didn't finish it either because I basically had to rework my whole setup to make it work because there's a slight delay on account of the fact that I use a capture card. And that slight delay was enough so that I couldn't hit the rhythm on time. So I had to like connect my phones directly to the PC, and that made it like extremely hard to do all of the other things and record and whatnot. But it was a really good game. I love that game. Forspoken.
Pretty mid.
Mid?
I thought the combat was really cool, but the story was terrible. Like the writing.
Yeah.
And I think the big thing is the world's fun to explore, but there's not enough variety. Once you have your I think one of the big problems with that game is once you get all your powers is when it like finally really comes online. But the game's over. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like what I heard as well. Like I played a bit of it and I was enjoying it, but the biggest problem with Forspoken for me was just the absolute hate boner that people had for it. Like,
oh, dude, there's so much butthurt around that game.
Because I was streaming the game, and usually when I'm streaming, I'm absorbing a lot of energy from chat, and the energy around Forspoken was just like, why are you playing this game? But there was like, I don't know, 600 people watching, which for my channel, that's a lot, right? So it's like there's 600 people watching, and they're all just
600
like,
people. I just hate stroking. Like, why are you watching this? Like, why are you here, bro?
Yeah, dude, it was really like I feel it's like I don't think the game was amazing, but I don't think the game was nearly half as bad as people made it out to be.
I think I scored it at like a 3 out of 5. It was before I went to the 3-point system, but I think I had it right around there. Because it had a lot of issues that could have been fixed, but like the combat was flashy and really fun. Just the rest of the game kind of tripped over its own legs.
So Wild Hearts. Bro. Feels bad,
I had so much fun with Wild
Me
Hearts.
too. God, that game was so good.
It's dude, like the Karakuri staff. I enjoy that more than every weapon in Monster Hunter. That thing was so slick, and that
was like their version of the Charge Blade, almost the fucking big ass.
The Wild Hearts, I think, is my biggest disappointment this year. Not because of like a game bad, but because it had so much potential to be an actual Monster Hunter competitor.
Yep.
But Koei they pushed it out when it was unoptimized, and then they just the support for it now is basically dead. They've already dropped it, and it's like, dude, like there was so many cool concepts in that game. The monster fighting was a ton of fun. The Karakuri building was fun. Giant boars charging, boom, 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 box wall, smack. Like that shit was slick.
It was amazing. I loved it. I spent so much time playing that game and experimenting with stuff. Did you get the slow motion bug? The slow motion problem?
I didn't get that one.
Dude, the slow mo, it was so bad. It was like depending on your system, depending on where you were playing it, it could happen at different times. So like Paradise and 269 told me that for them it happened right at the start. For me it happened when you effectively do the transition to like high rank, the kind of like, where things just get a little bit harder and whatnot. That's when it started happening to me, and it was like 60 hours in. And basically the slow motion thing was just your character everything would just move in slow motion.
I do think it
was so bad.
I think that the difficulty for the difficulty curve for the game got a little whacked out. I think towards the end.
Yeah, towards the end it was insane.
It was like gradual, and then it rapidly went up. And like the DLC monsters that came out were just ridiculous. Like one shot, 2-shot territory.
They were really they abused those really hard. And I was like, I made builds specifically to go after them, and I even swapped because I was using the the umbrella weapon. It was really fun. The parry
The
weapon.
Wagasa was so much fun.
Fun as hell.
Parry and just with like beeline at them.
The problem with the parry was because I had the slow motion problem. Whenever you would get the slow motion, I couldn't parry anymore. So I was
hi-fi rush all over again with your bad timings.
Yeah, but so I swapped to the hammer, and then the hammer had another problem. Did you play the hammer?
Yeah, I played all the weapons.
So you know that move that the hammer has with that karakuri that shoots out the little dart thing and zooms you towards the mob? You get a special move with the hammer whenever you do that. You know what I'm talking about? Because like it would do
I don't
this
know if I remember that specific move, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. The spike trap.
So there's a move that when you would do that, your character would actually just like swing the hammer back, and it did like this arc thing, and that move was almost the same damage as like your fully charged after 3 attacks big hammer ball.
So you're just spamming spike trap shots over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know it's those mobs that gave you no timing whatsoever, though those late game mobs, right? So the problem with it was that thing was random as fuck. So every now and then you would do it and your character would grab onto the monster for no reason. Every now and then you would do it and your character would do a normal jump instead of the special jump that allows you to do the attack. And then every now and then your character would do it normally. And I got so raged out at the fact that that thing was so fucking inconsistent that I rage quit in the middle of the stream and uninstalled the game.
I think one of the coolest things for that game for me was the claw blade, being able to latch on, and then literally you just became Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's Attack on Titan.
That was so sick. I was like, this is
but it's,
like, dude, I don't know.
So for instance,
there was so much about that game that was like, this is a good idea.
It was like
Monster Hunter
the
fans
fact that you could build camp. You could build a camp anywhere,
wherever you wanted. Yeah.
I love that. Awesome. That was so good. It was because
leaving traversal elements throughout the world. Awesome.
Yeah, so that you could have your own traversal, all of that. You would basically build your own base of operations. Again, these are all amazing ideas.
Yeah.
It's like I had all of the maps
I want for a Monster Hunter 6. I want that type of world building where I'm making camps, I'm creating traversal options. Yeah.
It really sucks that they released it in the state that it did because they just abandoned it. They just straight up abandoned it. Most people just like, by the time that I was doing the endgame monsters, nobody even cared.
Yeah.
These people just didn't care. And then I was like, and on top of it, so these late game monsters want pitch precision reflexes from me, but your fucking karakuri doesn't work with pitch precision because it does random bullshit every now and then. I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, it needed, honestly, I think with like another 3 months of cook time, I think that would have actually released as like a proper world competitor.
It would have been amazing. It would have definitely been amazing, but it ended up just being frustrating. Wolong, I ended up not playing DLC. They never sent me codes for the DLC, and I was like, oh, okay.
I'm still going through the DLC, going through the next one, the one that comes out in December. I liked Wolong, but I didn't like it as much as Neo.
Okay.
I still think Neo 2 is still like the pinnacle for me. But I enjoyed Wolong. It just doesn't. I don't know. Like, it's not a bad game. There's nothing inherently wrong with it.
I thought,
but it's missing the vibe that Neo has.
Wolong to me might have been one of the best of that Three Kingdoms mythology. One of the best of those that I've played.
Yeah,
I was like, this one's really good. I like this. It was cool. I like the guy that you thought was clumsy. I remember that, the drunkard. I was like, yeah, this guy's cool. I like him. Yeah, that guy was cool, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some fun stuff you can do in Wolong.
I enjoyed that one. Jedi Survivor.
Terrible launch date, but good game overall. Another victim of this game was not optimized for launch, and it's gonna run like shit.
Yep, pretty much. Tears of the Kingdom. Did you even finish it?
No.
God damn it, Cowboy! How dare you?
It's too aimless for me.
Listen,
I'm very ADHD.
I know,
and I need a little bit of direction. I know people are gonna say, "Well, Souls games are aimless," but Souls games I always have. I have a constant. Here's a boss. Here's
Souls
a
games.
Here's a
Souls
boss. Here's
games
a
are not aimless, like not in the same way that because Tears of the Kingdom, the world is huge, and you can just like, I don't know where to go. Even in Elden Ring, you always know where to go. In Elden Ring, you always know where you're supposed to be going. It's just in Tears of the Kingdom, there's a lot. Yeah, I get it. But like, listen,
you have marker, but it's like The marker is way the fuck out there, and you're here, and there's like a million things to do between. And so I would end up just wandering and doing the temples over and over again, or not the temples, the dungeons. I would just keep doing dungeons, and then it hit a point where I'm like, yeah,
and then you just got burned out. Yeah,
I think I've done a lot of these. I'm happy.
Let me just tell you a little story about how I killed the thing that comes before the final boss. So before the final boss, there's like almost like a horde mode type event that you do. And so what I did,
fighting a bunch of bullshit.
I made a tank, like an actual tank with like those parts that you had. And then I put five or six laser turrets on top of it with the gyro that aimed automatically. Now it's like driving around and then like deleting everything. Yeah. It was so satisfying, dude.
The shit I've seen people make like full-on B-52 bombers in that game. Recently there was a clip going viral on Twitter. Someone recreated one of the Shoto Godzilla scenes. They had like a mecha Godzilla like walking up out of the water onto shore, and they had tanks on the shore shooting at Godzilla, and then Godzilla did the laser breath and then started flamethrowing everything. I was like, that is wild.
Okay, that had to have been emulated. The Switch would have been able to handle that. The Switch was barely able to handle my tank.
Yeah.
There was
I mean, it's a cool game. It was the same with Breath of the Wild. Like Breath of the Wild took me like 2 years to finish because I couldn't play it for more than like, I would play like a 2-hour session, and then I would take like a week-long break.
I love playing it. It was an absolute blast. I just enjoyed the crap out of it. But yeah, Diablo 4.
Flash in the pan.
Sadly, yes. And
what sucks is I thought the campaign was actually good.
I thought the campaign was good too. Yeah.
You get to the end game and you're like, so what do I do? And they're like, dungeons. Just these like random 5 bosses over and over again. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm done.
And the first season they messed it up. People are saying that season 2 is really good, but I was like, nah, you guys took my battle pass token through a dark pattern.
I've heard season 2 is good, and I'm way too busy with games right now. When I get like a big slow, which right now would be the slow time, but I'm working through Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I decided to finally finish it.
Damn, you're gonna finish it before I do. I haven't finished Xenoblade 3 yet.
I started chapter 6, and I'm in the home stretch.
That's where I've been for the last 2 years. Listen,
again, it's a commitment. It's like a relationship.
I think I'm almost 175 hours into that game in chapter 6.
Again, dude, I will say, in terms of like just sheer content, you could play XBC for hours and hours. Like go between unlocking all the classes, limit breaking the classes, getting all your stuff up.
Did you play the other ones though?
Yeah.
Because like in my opinion, 3 is the worst one. Not a bad game, but it is the worst of the Xenoblade games.
This is, I'm sure, a controversial opinion. I think 1 is the worst one.
It's got the best story, my opinion. But,
I like the story in 1, but the combat in 1 just
the combat is very old. Yeah, the combat is
very samey. 2, I like the combat in 2 a lot. 2
has the best
thing
combat.
About 2, I quit Xenoblade Chronicles 2 twice. I quit it once, came back, tried to play it again, quit it the second time, and then someone was like, listen, you just got to push through. You're almost to the point. And I was where you get like swallowed by the whale, I think it was. And I was like, all right, I'm going to keep going. And I started pushing through, and I finally got to where like the combat unlocks and you can start executing your like break combos and whatnot.
Bro,
and then
you
get into the fusion combos, and then you start getting like good blades, and you're like, okay, now this is good.
And then,
but it's like for the longest time, you're just like, topple.
Yeah, and you can't keep going.
Yeah, and then you just auto attack for 5 minutes. You're like,
but the thing then you go play Torna where they just take a dump on the combat and they just let you do combos with everything.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's terrible.
I didn't do Torna. I played Torna for like an hour, and I was like, you took away everything that made this game good.
The combat, in terms of combat, for sure. And on top of it, Torna also had like the community bits, which was annoying. But anyway, Final Fantasy 16.
I enjoyed 16 a lot.
16 so good, dude.
Until Baldur's Gate and Armored Core, 16 was my game of the year lead.
Yeah, 16 is really good. Remnant 2. You've been playing the DLC recently. Has that changed your mind?
I have. it's patched up. It actually works on my PC now. There's no crashes. There's no stutters. My multiplayer works. It is the intended experience finally. And it was a lot of fun. We went through with a 3-man squad. We did the DLC.
Oh, it's
of
so
course,
good.
we unlocked the new class, and then all of us were like, dots, 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 more dots, more dots. So
the game is so good.
Look into stuff.
The last build that I did in Remnant 2 was like a mod swap spam build that, dude, it's just
I've
like...
heard those are devastating.
You swap weapons, and then it's just like mod and swap and mod and swap and mod, and it's so brutally disgusting.
I didn't like fully optimize it, but what I was doing, I had the electric axe, and then I had the ring that applies bleed on charge attack, and then I had the mutator that applies toxic on charge attack, and then I had the fire shotgun, and I was playing ritualist, so I would go axe throw and then just start shooting him with the shotgun, and instantly all 4 elements were applied.
Yeah.
And then I would just use the first ritualist skill to just keep the duration going and spreading them. I was basically an affliction warlock.
Yeah, that's what you can do that. I was playing that with my friends. It's a shame that you never did the apocalypse playthrough, because you would love the melee weapon you get from that. You get a melee weapon called World's Edge.
Quite stressful though.
What, apocalypse?
Yeah.
No, you want to talk about stressful? Stressful was the hardcore playthrough that I did on veteran difficulty. That was stressful, dude. Listen, just a quick story. Okay, we're doing the hardcore run, and we know about this build that you can make, which is a healer build that basically makes everyone very close to invincible, so long as your medic keeps healing himself. It's basically a build where you get almost infinite hearts because you're constantly healing and regenning, and everybody gets the regen effect. So they're constantly just healing up. And so long as you guys are tanky enough not to get one shot, you don't die at all. And that was like our plan for Annihilation. So we play all the way to Annihilation normally, and then we get to Annihilation. Okay, let's farm out this build for one of us that's going to be the root doctor. And so I'm playing Handler, which is kind of like the last ditch. If everybody dies, the dog's going to pick me up, and hopefully we get one more shot at this. That was my build. And then so one of my friends was a medic. I'm playing the last ditch guy, and my other friend is playing damage. He's just pure damage. He's like, I'm just here to deal damage. I was like, all right. So after we do, for starters, let me tell you something. If I wasn't playing Handler, our run would have been over, because at one point, all 3 of us died. Like, there was just like this bug in not a bug as in a glitch. There was like this insect in Neyrud that does poison, and it just like instantly gibbed both of them. And I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm trying to go in to res them, and it gibbs me too. And I was like, what the fuck? All 3 of us are dead. Dog goes in, res me, and I book it out of there. That was like one of the moments where we almost lost the run right there. But anyways, so we get to the end.
So wait. On hardcore, as long as one person survives, you can get them back up?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
See, that makes it a lot better than just like, oh, they've died, the run is over. I think it actually creates a really interesting co-op dynamic. It was really fun. But so when we get to the end, because we had this elaborate plan, we're like, oh, this isn't even going to be challenging, because previously that's how we killed the last boss in Apocalypse, is we had somebody doing that build and we just killed him like that. So we just tanked through all the mechanics and it's whatever. So we go into the boss and we do first phase, no problem, 0 issues. And in the second phase, you know how he's like at the edge?
Yeah.
So my friend, for the first time, for some reason, decided to see just how far he could go in that edge, and he died. And he's the healer.
Oh. So yeah, y'all were fucked.
Dude, that was like so stressful. I was like, what the fuck? So it's like, I'm playing with the Handler, and I also had the Alchemist for the res powder, because my whole thing is trying to make sure that we don't die. So I run up to the damage guy, put the powder on him like half a second before he died to a mechanic. He gets back up. And then I die to a mechanic. I get rezzed by the powder. And then we go into the next, because he's constantly swapping. He's swapping, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is happening. My friend is like about to heal himself. I die. That was his last heart. No, before that, he dies again. I have the dog res him because I'm out of hearts. So you can't res unless you have a heart. So the dog uses one of his hearts to res him, and then I die, uses the last heart to heal himself. And the boss had like, I don't know, 20% life left, and the last minutes of the playthrough is just him dodging everything and finally killing it. It was so stressful, dude. We almost lost everything at the end, but we got all the rewards. It was so good. Dude, that game is brutally underrated. Straight up.
Now that it's working, I think it's deserving of the proper review score.
Yeah. Anyway, Baldur's Gate 3.
Masterpiece.
Beast of a game, dude. Beast of a freaking game. Did you enjoy the House of Hope? I'm assuming like Chad got you in
House
there.
of Hope. Dude, I went into House of Hope with 2 different people that had access to Counterspell. Raphael didn't do shit. Every time he was trying to do his what is it? It's like a 10d6 or something, and we were just like, nope.
You want to know what I did? You want to know what I did to him? I made him dance while we killed him.
They did Otto's Irresistible. Yeah, we're doing a co-op playthrough right now, and I'm playing a Bard. I'm debating on going all the way up just to pick up that spell.
It is so good, dude. I friggin' love that. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, amazing. Armored Core 6.
My game of the year.
Very good. Excellent game. I haven't finished New Game Plus Plus yet. I'm ashamed to admit. I haven't finished New Game Plus Plus.
New Game Plus Plus pulls it all together in such a beautiful way.
I know. I've been doing like missions of New Game Plus Plus, but it's like the problem is I said that I would do it on stream, and then I haven't had time to stream it, and it's just like so frustrating because I just want to go in and finish it off stream at this point.
Because new game plus, you're like, okay, that's cool. There's some differences, and then New Game Plus Plus is like, whoa, what the fuck is this? What is happening? Yeah. This is new. What is this? There's like, oh.
We're gonna be talking about the Game Awards in a bit, and I actually think that Armored Core 6 got giga snuffed at the Game Awards.
Oh yeah, absolutely did.
100%.
One nomination.
Yeah, what a joke, dude.
They don't like Japanese games. Wolong, I don't think Wolong's in a single category.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't know. I don't know if it would have made it though, Wolong. But that's
I mean,
something...
Wolong could have easily been in the same category as Armored Core, which we'll talk about it. But like the nominees for best action game are like very questionable outside of Armored Core.
But continuing onward, Starfield.
It needs mods. The best way to describe Starfield is it's like going back and trying to play Skyrim vanilla, and you're like, I remember why I can't do this anymore.
To me, Starfield is more like, I think the main story sucks. I think the story, I mean, it's not it sucks, it's just, it's not good. I don't think it's particularly
good. I had issues
I'm sure that
with
some
the
people will
level up
like
system.
it. The level
I ended up using console commands for my first playthrough. Just because.
Oh, you mean the skill level up? I remember that.
Yeah, how you get a level and then you have to do the progression and then you have to spend your point and then you have to do the progression. I'm like, no, listen, this is either progression based and it just levels up, or I spend my point and it levels up. You're not making me do both.
I think that one of the biggest things is that they need to give you your ship when you go into New Game Plus. That's like my biggest piece of feedback that I can give you is give me my ship when, like, I spent God knows how long making a ship through this custom system that you design, which is actually fucking really good. And then you fucking take it away and you give me this sperm ship that I don't want. I don't want the sperm ship, dude. Keep your fucking sperm ship. Yeah. I don't want it.
Yeah, I couldn't stand the skill level up. Like what I ended up doing is every time I would complete the challenge, I would just give myself a skill point to unlock the next tier. And so I would perform the challenges, but that was it.
I also don't think that in New Game Plus they should even take your stuff away. I don't think it makes sense. Because initially I was just like, just give me my ship. But the more I thought about it, it's like if they hadn't taken my stuff away, I would have probably gone through and done like maybe 2-3 New Game Pluses. But because they took my shit away, I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you.
Just no interest.
Yeah, it's just I went all the way almost to the end on New Game Plus 1. And then I got to that section where there's just a ton of them coming at you. And I was like, oh, right, because I rushed through this, I have no guns.
I wasn't a fan of the temples. The temples felt like a shittier version of
they're boring. They suck.
The Skyrim temples. You just you walk, float to the lights.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why I didn't like the main story. Like the coolest thing about Starfield is the faction stories. That's it. Do the faction stories, enjoy yourself. And
I like the outlaw story. That one was fun.
I don't think I did the outlaw one.
Not outlaw. Freestar Rangers.
The Freestar Rangers. Yeah, that one was good. Yeah. I did that one.
That was like fuck around and find out the quest line.
Yeah. That was good. But yeah, I think there's some cool stuff about Starfield, but it needed a lot of work to really bring everything together. And there's a lot of shortcomings in there. But like I said, it is my favorite Bethesda games because I don't like any of the other ones because the combat in Skyrim is ass and the setting of the Fallout series doesn't really appeal to me. So
see, Skyrim, man, I would still put Skyrim ahead of Starfield, but modded Skyrim
with mods. Yeah, I'm talking about
yes.
unmodded Skyrim. I don't think I would.
Vanilla is. We don't talk about vanilla.
Yeah, but anyway, Lies of P.
I liked it, but I really wish the perfect guard was better. We were actually talking about this on stream yesterday. It just, the thing with Lies of P that bothered me more than anything was that there's such an emphasis around the perfect guard mechanic with like moves that you cannot block or that you cannot dodge unless you're just like literally sprinting away from it.
Yeah.
And they want you to perfect guard, but the perfect guard has like a third of the parry frames of Sekiro. So, which is insane. It's the core mechanic. Like to me at least, the perfect guard is like that's the identity mechanic. You know, when I think of Wolong, it's deflect. When I think of Sekiro, it's the parry. When I think of Souls games in general, I think it's, you know, you don't really have a core mechanic. It's more build diversity.
Yeah.
But Lies of P very much is like, hey, we have this perfect guard. You should get good at using it. But then they make it like exclusively hard to use. To the point like even Ung Bal was like, yeah, this is too tight. And that dude is like the parry god of parry gods.
So let me just throw something at you. I don't think the problem isn't because I've thought about this a lot. And initially I had the exact same opinion. It's like this parry is just too tight. I don't think the parry is too tight. What is too tight is the timing between the boss begins animation and the boss hits you. You have to predict when the animation is going to come before the animation actually begins, which basically just makes it trial and error until, you know, like you need to be testing this shit out like 50 times until you absolutely muscle memorize and, you know, like friggin' 350 milliseconds after he does this animation is when the attack's going to come.
Yeah,
because when you see the attack
so
coming,
they're like boom.
And on top of it, some of them are so big that the thing that you need to be looking out for is actually outside the camera reach.
Yeah, you can't even see it.
You can't even see it. So I think that is the actual problem. Because like if I can properly see when the attack is coming, I can parry frame it. I just don't think that a lot of the bosses in that game give you the proper timing of when the attack is coming.
Yeah, field of view was a little whacked out. There were a lot of instances where I just could not see the attack coming.
But I broke the game.
That's a Souls problem in general.
I broke the game to get the platinum, so I don't care. You use the shield. The shield thing is broken. It's completely broken. So if you put enough points into like whatever that gauge is, I forget. I think it's the Legion gauge or whatever. If you put enough points into getting like a big fat Legion gauge, and you get that shield and you just block everything. You don't even have to do the thing that people were saying that it was glitched because there's something that you can do to perfect parry everything. You don't even have to do that. Just put enough points where that thing will last, and then you just block and attack with a spear. And you'll kill everything.
Keep poking.
Yeah, I basically killed the nameless puppet in New Game Plus 2 like that. I just blocked and killed him. Fuck you.
Yeah, nameless. It was also too linear for me, which I think with Souls games and replaying is like.
Yeah.
I'm going to go. Hang on a second. My toddler is upset because mom cut the grapes in half and he wants them no cut.
Dude, kids get upset over such ridiculous stuff. I mean, my 8-year-old still gets upset over the dumbest stuff.
Sorry, dude. We're not going to let you choke on grapes. Because, well, what's funny is I literally cut them in half last night and he was fine with them. And right now, no cut.
That's because
no cut grapes.
That's because when daddy cuts the grapes, everything is fine. But if mommy cuts the grapes,
exactly.
Only daddy cuts the grapes, not mommy. But you were saying about the linearity.
You know, like for example, Lords of the Fallen. Right now, I'm doing a co-op playthrough, and we're just cruising through. We're tackling some areas, ignoring some side areas. But like Lies of P is. You know, it's just like it's a line straight through it. Mm-hmm. So there is no like, I'm going to skip this or I'm going to skip that without like speed run skips. You're going through the full game every time with no deviation. And I think that takes something away from the replayability, you know?
For sure. Lords of the Fallen was the next one that I was going to bring up. Where do you land on with Lords of the Fallen?
I scored it the same as Lies of P. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I think it's one of, if you can get past the bugs, I think it's one of the best non-From Soft Souls likes to date.
It is very good.
But they should have kept it in the oven.
They
like
should.
on one hand, I'm very thankful to see all the patches that they are doing. It's
They're doing
fantastic.
tons of stuff, yeah.
Yeah, kudos to see the devs patching this much and making the game and updating it and whatnot. At the same time, it shouldn't have been a full-priced game for what's essentially like a paid beta test.
Yeah.
Like the amount of changes they're making
they might
should
as
have
well
been in place.
they might as well have released it as kind of like early access almost, if this is what they were going to do,
Yeah.
which would have probably been more acceptable, like at a lower price range, and just release it as early access, and it is what it is. Because
drop the game at $40-$50. Say this is the early access launch. There's a lot of things we're still tweaking.
Yeah,
I think it would have been much better received. Because a
Because
lot of
you
the
had-
problems are really bad.
you had technical issues with the game, and you had some serious balance issues, which now they're patching out. Like, I've had the situation where I was invaded by players with crossbows whenever the crossbow meta was busted.
And they were
and
just one-shot you.
There's me and a friend of mine, we're getting ready to fight, and it's just like, no, there's no fight. What do you mean fight? There's no fighting here. I shoot a rocket at you and you're dead. That's the fight. I was like, oh, damn, that freaking sucks. But apparently that got nerfed because my friend was making that build. They nerfed that
got
into
nerfed.
the ground.
They've nerfed a lot of things. Even the game in general. Like I'm doing a co-op playthrough with a buddy right now, and we're going through.
Is it actually challenging now?
No. Well, but like,
Okay,
so
yeah.
I went through, like the launch state, and I'm going through, I'm like, all right, this fight's going to be kind of hard here. We got all these dudes, and then we go in, and I'm like, where are the extra enemies? Like a perfect example, early on in Pilgrim's Perch, where you get one of the Dunmire quest items, you like you go Umbral, you go through the cave, you pop out top, and you look down, and there's like a paladin, 2 spike heads.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
They removed both the spike heads from that encounter.
Damn.
I just dropped down and I was like, wait, there's no
spiky
boys.
That must have been like iterated on multiple times, because I remember at one point I went down there and there was only one spiky boy, and apparently they removed both of them.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of areas they've been like decreasing enemy density, and I'm like, this is just baby town frolics now.
Yeah, but I think that's just for normal game, because they said that for New Game Plus and subsequent playthroughs, they're going to increase the enemy density again. So I've done a co-op playthrough as well, and co-op, it is just so much fun, but it was totally busted because my friend was playing Umbral. So
yeah.
And on top of him playing Umbral,
the co-op for that game is unironically the best co-op we've seen in a Souls game. You can join somebody. Like I hopped in my friend's game, and then we just played for 3 hours.
Yep.
Through dying, through invasions, through bosses, we just kept trucking along.
I made a whole video talking about that, how that is just such a good improvement that they've done, because the big problem with that is that it's not as good for random. For random matchmaking, because like you're going to join somebody's game and you have no idea what the two of you are going to be working on. That it's the best co-op if you have a friend that you want to play with. Because I've played through the whole game multiple times. I did like 3 or 4 characters between me and a friend, which is another thing that I criticized, which was they need to make sure that the item-based achievements are tracked across multiple characters. Because Dark Souls 1 already did that. So like in Dark Souls 1, if you were doing like the trophy for getting all the weapons, you can get like one rare weapon on character 1 and another rare weapon on character 5. Doesn't make a difference.
I think they should have a, because I was talking to them about like a seamless co-op, and their concern was like, well, if you join somebody's game and they kill an NPC, it affects your world, but it's already seamless minus quest progression. I think there should be an opt-in mode.
Yeah,
like when you do co-op with a friend, you opt in, and then you both get eyes, you both get the vestiges, you both get
I agree.
Key item drops.
That would have been way more fun, because like basically me and a friend, we would end up like having to do the same thing twice, multiple times for multiple characters. Because I've played a ton of this game, dude. I played way more than I initially expected, just because of the co-op aspect. Because like I get together with my friend and we're like, okay, let's go do this thing. Let's go do this build. Let's break the game in this way, break the game in that way. Like the way that we were playing, how Umbral has the infinite casts, right?
Yeah.
But it costs your health and gray health. But I'm playing Radiant with the aura of regen, so it doesn't even cost that. So long as I'm next to my friend, I'm just offsetting his spell casts, and he's just murdering everything in sight. There was no
there's a lot of
it was fun
really,
as hell.
There's a lot of really cool mechanics in that game, in terms of like being able to spot spells on the fly, being able to I was a big fan of just being able, like, oh, you're pure Inferno, here's a sword. It's a big sword. You don't need strength, you just need Inferno. Like, great.
I was using that
I've
sword.
had some people, Well, some people are like, oh, well, that's not balanced because then your your casters are also strong in melee, and that's the point of that
Who
game.
cares?
Like even as a melee character, like dude, my the enhanced lump hammer was hitting for like 3K at one point on a strength build. Like the game is supposed to, because the way it's designed is with the ranged enemies, regardless of what build you play, whether you're melee or caster, every build in that game has powerful melee and ranged options, regardless of your build, which is something I like.
Yeah, I think Lords of the Fallen is actually one of the games that I really enjoyed this year. It's just the situation where it wasn't ready to be released, basically.
Yeah.
I need
more time for sure.
I need to ask you about this game because I didn't play it. Alan Wake 2.
I was not as big. I enjoyed Alan Wake 1 a lot. Alan Wake 2, I started petering out towards the end.
Okay. Because like
I think it borders the line between like game and like performative art. There's
see, now it makes perfect sense. Now I understand. Because like I'm looking at the Game Awards, and I'm just like, bro, Alan Wake 2 has to be like one of the best games ever made. It's sweeping like every goddamn category. And when you told me, well, it's a mix of gameplay and performative, I was like, okay, yeah, that's the type of stuff the mainstream media loves. So okay, now
there's like a whole mission you go in where it's like you're playing through a music video, basically. And that part's kind of cool, but then there's other parts that are similar but not as cool. And yeah, just towards the end, I just started getting burnout on it, especially Alan's side, because when you're playing as what was her name, Senna. When you're playing as the chick, it's very Alan Wake 1. You're going through, you're solving the mysteries, you're shooting. But then when you're playing Alan Wake, you're basically in the whatever it goes, the Underdark, the Underrealm. You're in the Shadow realm.
The Umbral realm.
Yeah, you're in
Alan
Umbral.
Wake.
But like, so the whole time you're playing, there are shadows all over the place, and some of them will like actualize as enemies and attack you. Other ones, you just walk right through them. Can you fight? You can
as Alan,
but okay. you don't. It's tricky to figure out which one's real and which one. No. You're intended to fight, but like until they're like actually like your option, you can shine your flashlight, and if you power it up, and it's a real shadow, it'll like turn into a bad guy, and you can kill it. But if it's just a normal shadow, it'll just poof and disappear. And so your best option is really like if you can carefully watch and see which ones are like kind of staggering towards you, you're like, okay, well that one's an enemy model. But my problem is while you're going through the levels, they all just constantly whisper at you. So you're playing, they're just like, wake, 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 wake. And I'm like, okay, I fucking get it. Yes, you're all spooky. Can we? Because first time you experience it, it's spooky. But like 20 hours in, you're just trying to go through the level and you just hear, wake, 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 wake. And then something jumps on you and you're like,
I've never even played any of the Alan Wake games, but it's like the gameplay that I've seen just doesn't seem like it'd be something that I'd enjoy. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I mean, I get it. A lot of people like it. It's whatever. But it seems like it's a bit overhyped.
Dude, there was a full ass algebra puzzle in the game, and I had to like bust out pen and paper and try to redo algebra, and it's been like fucking 25 years since I've done that shit. I was like, okay, this goes
I can respect that.
This goes here. It was kind of fun. I was like, all right, good. I figured this out now. I still have that skill. It's good.
No, but I can respect that. Puzzles like that, I can actually respect that. That's pretty cool. Is there any other game that you want to bring up? Is like,
are we talking
just games that came out
and
anything
DLC?
that came out in 2023? Anything?
Oh shit. Let's go through my list here. Let's see. What have we not touched on? Have a Nice Death.
Just stuff that you're really
pretty cool indie.
Yeah, just stuff that you really liked.
What about Resident Evil 4? Never played the original. Thought the remake was baller.
I want to play that when it comes to VR. Actually, I'm gonna check that out.
V Rising got a big DLC. A game absorbs hours. Had a lot of fun with that. Inkbound came out. Probably one of the best indie games I've ever played, made by the folks that did Monster Train. Super dope game, co-op roguelike with friends, dungeon crawling. Dredge came out this year. Super enjoyable standalone indie experience. Atlas Fallen, which a lot of people looked over, was actually like a fun little B flick of a game. You liked Atlas Fallen? I had a blast with Atlas Fallen. 27-part Let's Play.
I need to check that out.
A little Monster Hunter vibes. See, the Phantom Liberty DLC was phenomenal for Cyberpunk. It feels like it's what they wanted the game to be at launch. Spider-Man 2, a little bit on the short side, but had a lot of fun with it. And Blasphemous 2.
Spider-Man 2 has the best traversal ever, dude. It's so good.
Yeah. Blasphemous 2 is now up there, I think, is one of the best Metroidvanias I've ever played.
Ooh.
The Last Faith, which just came out. Fun Metroidvania. Not as good as Blasphemous 2, but fun.
Okay.
And I think that covers everything of note for me.
Okay.
Scrolling through.
So,
yeah.
Before we jump into the actual Game Awards, I want you to think of the 3 games you're most excited for 2024. I'm going to tell you mine, but I want to give you time to think about 3 games that you're the most excited for that are coming out next year.
I mean, I already got them.
You already got them? Okay, give them to me.
Dragon's Dogma 2.
Yes!
Shadow of the Erd Tree. That counts DLC. I mean, it's basically going to be bigger than most games, so it counts.
Yes, I'm super hyped for it as well, but it's not on my top 3. I'm going to be very sorry to admit, but yeah.
The last one, which technically isn't confirmed, but it's going to come, Silk Song.
Damn. All right. So for me, it's Dragon's Dogma 2 as well. It's like, bro, you know that there's been rumblings. There's been rumblings of some people in the Monster Hunter community being upset about the fact that Dragon's Dogma 2 is coming out ahead of Monster Hunter.
They can stay fucking mad.
Bro, like,
stay fucking mad.
Like,
we have been waiting.
We've been waiting for so long. Like, I think that people still don't understand how good Dragon's Dogma is. Like, people need to go play people that still haven't played the original Dragon's Dogma. Like, things are cooling down right about now. Go play it right now. Make it your Christmas game. Play it on Switch. Arisen. Play it wherever the fuck you want. But play Dragon's Dogma
right now. I want to see if the sale's still going on.
It probably is, because I saw the sale. It was
Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen is $4.79 right now on Steam.
But
because of Black Friday, that is a steal.
If you don't play Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen, bro, don't even talk to me anymore.
For fucking cheaper than a cup of coffee,
bro.
Shit is ridiculous.
It's so good. So yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2, super easy one. My next one would be Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. That's coming out real early.
Is that the fighting one or the MMO?
No, it's the not MMO-ish. It's all. I think it's supposed to be almost like Monster Hunter in terms of structure. Not like Monster Hunter. You know, like we had the discussion. Armored Core's like. I'm talking structurally speaking. It's a mission-based game. Okay. But yeah, I think it's gonna be like that. I'm still not 100% sure, but it comes out like on the 1st of February supposedly. I'm super hyped for that game. I've been waiting for that game for way too long. I'm super hyped for it. And then finally, Monster Hunter 6. It's coming out next year, bro. It's happening.
I don't think it is.
You don't think it is?
I don't think it is. So I was very much on
let me just add this. If Monster Hunter does not come out next year, then number 3 would be Elden Ring DLC.
So there was the whole big talk about unannounced game coming out by March, Capcom, blah blah blah. All
Dragon's Dogma 2. It's Dragon's Dogma.
Yeah, that was apparently a mistranslation. It's not unannounced game. It's unreleased or something. It's just somebody on Reddit mistranslated it.
My boy Gaijin right here. Look, he's right there.
he cleaned that up. Everybody ran, like one Reddit post said unannounced, and then every media outlet was like, unannounced game coming out, unannounced game coming out, unannounced game coming out. And then somebody that actually like speaks Japanese is like, no, this doesn't mean unannounced. It's not what they're actually saying. So all signs point to that's Dragon's Dogma 2. If we get Monster Hunter 6, great. We'd be eating super good next year.
Yep.
I don't know.
I think because like the anniversary is going to be in March next year, and I think that's when they give you the first taste. And 6 months afterwards, which is like March is what, month 3? So that would be like month 9. That's like September. So like September, October. I think that would be potential release. So like a fall release for Monster Hunter 6, maybe. Initially, I thought it was going to be summer, but I could see it going fall. But hey, here's the thing. If it comes out next year,
some big things. My biggest thing for the Game Awards this year isn't even the rewards.
It's the
trailers we're going to see.
Yeah. See, that's the reason why I wanted to do this one ahead of the Game Awards, because I want to schedule with you another one after the Game Awards to talk about all the
Talk
shit
about
that
all the
gets
dope
announced.
announcements.
Yeah,
Do
dude.
some good ones.
It's going to be some good stuff in there. But yeah. So now I'm actually going to swap the scene around, open up the website, and we're going to be going through the Game Awards. For those of you only hearing to the audio version, you won't see it. But if you're watching the actual video, we're going to be going over and quick. But yeah, we're going to be starting with the most anticipated game. We already gave you guys our most anticipated games. The ones that they have right here, which is actually kind of weird for me because a lot of the stuff that we talked about, they did not put there. They have Tekken 8, Star Wars Outlaws, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, and Hades 2, and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So one of the things that I want to point out, how excited are you for Star Wars Outlaws?
No excitement right now. I need to see any Ubisoft game. And until I see unedited live gameplay, you're probably going to hear a child screaming in the background right now. He wants those grapes cut by daddy. Until I see like unedited raw gameplay of a Ubisoft game, I don't get excited for it. So, same with like the Avatar game that's coming out.
Oh, that's not out yet? I was wondering if that was out yet or not.
That's December. I need to see actual gameplay of it.
Are you going to play that?
Not Ubisoft gameplay. I'll probably check it out on stream. That way, if it's like not vibing, I can just drop it and not feel bad.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, out of that list, it's Final Fantasy Rebirth for me,
yeah.
Followed by Hades, and the rest I might check out.
But it's like I feel like they could have had some other stuff on here besides
the fact that Dragon's Dogma isn't on that list.
Yeah, it's a travesty, bro. It's an absolute travesty. The disrespect that the media has for Dragon's Dogma is absolutely disgusting, dude.
Yeah.
And not just that, like there's a bunch of games that are coming out. I actually did a stream about the games that are coming out next year. And it's like, I don't know if Black Myth Wukong is next year or not. Maybe. I think it's scheduled for next year. So like Black Myth Wukong is not in there.
There's a lot of weird things.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that are coming out next year that deserve the spot on there. So I don't understand what the hell is going on, but whatever. I think for me it will be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well out of this list. Hades 2 is also really, really cool. I'm not jumping into a Yakuza game yet because I don't have any of the background of Yakuza games at this point, but you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I've tried playing them. They're games that I would have to play like on my own laying in bed, I think.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dialogue.
That's the vibe that I get from them as well. But yeah, so on this one we agree. But yeah, definitely a lot of games got snubbed on here, but it's whatever. So if we move on to the previous category, we have Best Adaptation. Okay, I actually don't think that I care that much about this one, but I'd probably vote for Super Mario. Did you watch Super Mario movie?
I did, but Castlevania Nocturne was pretty dope.
So you'd go for that over Super Mario, or is it...
Possibly. Castlevania, like when he finally like fires up and like gets his powers...
I haven't watched it.
I love the Castlevania stuff, so
yeah. For me,
when we see a new game.
For me, it would be Super Mario Bros. Like I watched that with my kids, bro. It was amazing. I loved it. Fantastic experience.
Last of Us was pretty good. I didn't watch Twisted Metal or Gran Turismo. Last of Us was also really good. They did a solid job with the adaptation.
I haven't really watched it, but yeah. Okay. Next up, Best Multiplayer. Is there another game that you would put in this category?
Remnant.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up, dude. Remnant. Remnant should have been in this category, straight up. Remnant 2, 1,000,000% deserves to be in this category. Yeah. Would it win if it was in this category for you?
I don't know. Baldur's Gate multiplayer has been a lot of fun.
I haven't tried out Baldur's Gate multiplayer. I'm waiting for them to patch it up a little bit more, and I do want to do like a Baldur's Gate multiplayer. It is
an ordeal. You're like, I'm the bard, I'm the face of the party, and then your friend that's playing a dwarf barbarian that looks like a fucking clown just runs ahead and initiates the dialogue, and you're like, well,
why does he have to be a dwarf?
he was like, I want to make the dumbest looking guy possible.
It's like the disrespect for the dwarven race, dude. God damn it. Oh my God. Give me a minute.
I don't know how Diablo's even in that category. Dude, it's the most broken multiplayer ever. Diablo 4 multiplayer. Can't make lobbies to do specific activities. Can't trade with people. It's like it has less multiplayer features than Diablo 3, which was already bare bones.
I haven't played too much multiplayer in that game, to be fair. I mostly played it solo, so I don't know. I just don't think...
It's designed to play multiplayer with a party of friends and you're all in Discord.
The thing for me is, I feel like Diablo 4 is kind of like a fun game with co-op. I don't think it needed to be an MMO. I think it was ham-fisted to be an MMO, and I think it was to its detriment that it was an MMO. I think it would have been way better if it was like
absolutely fine. Yeah. Oh, it's multiplayer. You can see other people in the world. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Nobody cares.
Let me get in a party of five buddies and play.
If anything, sometimes those people actually are a nuisance because they're killing the same mobs you are, and it's just fucking annoying. It's like, this is not, in my opinion, this shouldn't have been an MMO, so it definitely doesn't deserve the reward. It's like, if I'm going to go through here...
it should have had an offline mode. I just want to sit on my Steam Deck and play Diablo 4 in peace.
Agreed. There should have definitely been an offline mode for Diablo 4. This whole thing about like, oh no, it needed to be multiplayer. No, it fucking didn't. I played it by myself. It didn't need to be multiplayer a damn thing. No. Fucking bullshit. But yeah, out of these games, I've heard that Street Fighter 6 multiplayer is really good. I don't know. I know that
it is good, but I don't know. Fighting games to me are, you're either really into fighting games or you just like dabble for a week and then you move on.
Yeah.
The people that are really into fighting games are vibing with it, and I did play it. But it's, fighting games as a content creator, it's like being like a FIFA content creator. You need to fully embrace that, and that becomes a staple of your channel, and you're constantly working on your tech and your combos and your matchups. And I just don't have that kind of time commitment for any fighting game.
I just realized I don't think I've mentioned all of the games. It's Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, because there's people listening only. Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I think that probably Party Animals might even be one of the best ones. I haven't played it.
I haven't had a chance to play it. I wanted to.
I think this is kind of like what was it called? The Gang
Beasts.
Gang Beasts. Yeah, that's it. I played a decent chunk of Gang Beasts with friends. That thing was fun as hell. So I think that for a multiplayer game, Party Animals might actually take it. But
it's a solid. I haven't played it yet, so I can't vote on it. But yeah, it's made by the same people that did Gang Beast, very similar. So it should be a lot of fun.
But to me, it should have been like Remnant 2, and Remnant 2 would win easy. Wouldn't even be a conversation for me. But it is what it is. Those are our thoughts on best multiplayer. Then best sports racing. Don't care. Played none of these games.
Just because Hot Wheels is cool.
Did you play it?
No, but it's Hot Wheels. I hate Hot Wheels.
I remember the first time I looked at this category, I was like, is there a way that they can all lose? Can they just all lose?
Fucked up.
I just want them all to lose. No, I don't know. I didn't play any of them. Usually Forza is solid. That much I know. So I don't know. I don't care anyway. But yeah.
Best sim and strategy game. Advance Wars 1 and 2, Reboot Camp, City Skylines 2, Company of Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, Pikmin 4.
Thank you for saying those. I keep forgetting that. Good point.
I'm just going to do it at the start.
Yeah. Sure. I loved Fire Emblem Engage. I didn't finish it, but I played the crap out of it. It was really fun. Didn't play any of the other ones.
But I would assume Fire Emblem's usually solid. I don't know how City Skyline even got on there, because I've heard it's one of the most disastrous launches they've ever had in the game.
I've heard that thing's got some serious problems and the community's not happy with it. So yeah,
like 4090 is running at 15 FPS.
Oof. That's just because the 4090 is a crappy GPU.
Yeah, right. PS5 is better. Yeah, okay.
No. Listen. We'll talk about that after we go through these categories. But I have some. We've
had this discussion.
No. I have some news. Okay, trust me. But you're not gonna like it. Best family game. Go ahead.
Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4, Sonic Superstars, Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I don't know how many. I'm assuming it's 4-player multiplayer. I haven't played Sonic Superstars. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is really fun, but I don't think that Disney Illusion Island is that great from what I've seen from it so far.
I would actually give it to Disney Illusion Island. I checked that out during an indie stream. It has some like off the cuff jokes that like you'll get as an adult, but a kid would not get. that I was like,
Ooh.
oh, and it has like a little buddy mode where I can play, and you know, my kid's 3, so he's not going to play it at that age, but I could let him just kind of hold a controller and run his character around with me. Little buddy modes are a big inclusion because that means we can progress the game, and I can just kind of let him.
If it has that thing and if it's fun, then yeah, that will probably do it. Because like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, my kid is 8 and he struggles with some of the platforming sections, and it's like if he doesn't clear the I mean, I can just clear the platform for him, but it fucking sucks because he's 8. He can see like, oh shit, Dad just went ahead, let me die, and now he's gonna pick me up with the balloon thing, and I was like, yeah. So it's like, I don't know how Pikmin is, and I didn't play the other one, so yeah, I'll take your guess there.
I think Party Animals is a fun like party game.
Yeah,
but it's a bit too brutal for family.
Yeah, for parents.
Pick up your toddler and throw him off a cliff, and no, Daddy, no, Daddy. Like, yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah, it's a little bit too violent. Like, listen, my kid gets competitive over one of the Yoshi games because like he will pick up a bunch of like those yarn balls or whatever the crap that you can pick up in the Yoshi game, and then like I'll gobble him. And like all of the balls become mine. And he's just like, no! He just gets like all upset whenever that happens. So yeah. The Disney Island one sounds good. Okay. Next up, best fighting game.
God of Rock, Mortal Kombat 1, All Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls 2, Pocket Bravery, and Street Fighter 6.
I think probably Street Fighter 6 from what I've seen of gameplay. Because I didn't play any of these games.
I've played God of Rock and Street Fighter 6. I've heard MK1 is really good, but I haven't played it.
I've heard it's really good, but in a way I almost don't want it to win because they're selling fatalities for like $15 or whatever the crap it is. And I was like, bro.
That's not good.
Fuck off, man. Fuck off with that business model. That's some disgusting shit. Is God of Rock better than Street Fighter 6?
I don't think so. It's like a rhythm-based fighting game.
Oh, dude, but it's made by my Brazilian brethren, man. I got to simp.
It's hard to... I struggled to stream it. It was like a Hi-Fi Rush in the sense that I could not look at chat. Like that game requires 100% of your attention, which I guess most fighting games do.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't even look away if I'm going to be able to do this.
From what I've heard of like the innovations in multiplayer, I think that Street Fighter 6 should probably win this one. Most likely, would you agree?
Sure. I'm not terribly invested in this category, so.
Yeah, me neither.
Best RPG.
Okay.
Now's where we throw down. Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, Starfield.
Okay, so number one, and this really sucks. Final Fantasy 16 does not belong on this category. Agreed or disagreed?
It's hazy. I think it's closer to like an action RPG than a true RPG.
I think it's an action game. Like it's almost Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
The game is almost Devil May Cry, so I just don't think
you don't do a lot of character building. You have a lot of like customization with your icons, but you're just picking your action abilities.
Yeah,
so I think an action game it would have probably fit better in, I think.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, either way, in this category, I think Baldur's Gate 3 takes it.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3
I also don't consider
sweeps.
Lies of P Lies of P. I mean, technically it's an RPG. Like, you make a character, but no.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars,
like 30 minutes.
I've heard good things. Did you play it? How'd you like it?
Only about 20 minutes so far. It seems like it could be cool, but I have like a backlist of like that 2D style RPG games I got to get through. I have that. I have Sea of Stars. I have Star Ocean Relink something.
Star Ocean Second Story Art. Dude, I played a little bit of that. That game is so good. That game is really good. Like, I was very surprised.
I have what was one last year I didn't finish that came out that was another big
Chained Echoes.
Yeah, I'm working through Chained Echoes.
Yeah, see, the thing about these games like Sea of Stars and Chained Echoes is like, bro, I want the physical Switch version. And it doesn't exist.
I have them all on Steam Deck, so once I finish Xenoblade Chronicles, I'll go back.
And the thing is, I've paid for it because they're making a physical version of it, and I've bought it like a year ago. And I still don't have it. So I'm probably going to cancel it. Like, I'm just going to give up because like I want to have physical editions of games, but quite simply, like the companies that are exploiting. I don't mean exploiting like as in like scamming people or whatever. I mean the companies that are doing the physical, like they're not doing a good job. Like they take forever to release the shit, which means that I never covered Chain Echoes because I wanted to have the physical edition. Never covered Sea of Stars because I wanted that. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm gonna buy this shit on Steam and I'm done. I'm done. I'm very close.
I get it on Steam and then I play them on Steam Deck. It's the way to go, I think.
I am very close to just giving up on physical, bro, because like it's been absolutely insane the way that shit has been going down. But anyways, in this category, I completely agree. Baldur's Gate 3 absolutely sweeps it. I don't even think it's a discussion. I mean, Starfield doesn't come anywhere close to the quality of Baldur's Gate 3. Sea of Stars, I think, could potentially be considered really good. I haven't played it. So I think that for some people, Sea of Stars could potentially sweep here, but I still think that Baldur's Gate 3 is just like, it's so freaking good, dude. Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. So yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 all the way. There's not even there's another game that would have been nice to see mentioned here, although, again, it's more of a shooter. I was going to say Remnant 2.
Well, I mean, here's a discrepancy for me. In the next category, which is Best Action Adventure, we have Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
I would put Tears of the Kingdom almost more in the RPG category than action
No.
adventure.
Tears of the Kingdom, 100% action adventure. But moving on to the next category, Best Action Adventure.
Alan Wake 2, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
I mean, to me, this is super easy. Legend of Zelda. It's like
Resident Evil 4, man. That game was 5 out of 5. Fucking parries, roundhouse kicks, shooting stuff. It has been my favorite Resident Evil to date. I didn't play the originals. This is my first experience with 4.
I gotta play it because I've never been much of a Resident Evil guy, but I've heard that 4 is much more action. Whereas like because the other Resident Evils, I feel like it's one of those situations where I was like, oh, I have 3 bullets. Better not shoot anything. Better save
Resident those. You're throwing out roundhouse kicks and shit. Even the DLC, the Separate Ways DLC was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'm curious to eventually check that out for sure. But yeah, I go for Zelda, you go for Resident Evil. I think that Jedi Survivor could have done decently in this category if they hadn't released it the way that it did. And you know what the funniest thing was about Jedi Survivor for me? You remember when all those people were having problems on PC? You remember how there were people that came out and they were like, it's running fine on my PS5.
Yeah.
Those people are full of shit. Those people are full of shit. Okay? Listen, I put a clip on Twitter of the game running at 11 FPS in performance mode on PS5. Okay? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I will say
the game was running like ass all around, yeah.
Spider-Man 2 was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think my problem with Spider-Man 2 is you get to the end of the game and then there's just nothing. And it's like, I have all these powers, I want to do more. But the only thing left is like stopping little crime sprees. Like if it had a new game plus, I think the action aspect of it would possibly put that ahead because I had a lot of fun with Marvel Spider-Man. It just felt like a very just kind of closed loop experience, which I guess Resident Evil 4 is also a closed loop experience, but it felt a lot more intense.
Fair enough. Okay, moving onwards, we then have Best Action Game. See,
Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, is the only game in this category.
I agree.
Also, Dead Island 2, Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Remnant 2.
See, this is one of those situations that makes me really sad because they put Remnant 2 next to Armored Core 6. That's just so fucking evil, dude.
Yeah, it could have belonged in multiplayer. It could have been in RPGs. It could have been an action adventure, but instead they decided that the Souls-like co-op open world character building exploration game was action.
It's so weird to me. And Final Fantasy 16 should have been on here as well, in my opinion, but
yeah,
whatever.
I think so.
So in this category,
you're
going to go with Armored Core 6. I'm going to go with Armored Core 6 with an extremely honorable mention for Remnant 2. God damn, feels bad, dude. I really wanted to see Remnant 2 win something. Makes me so sad. But yeah, it is Armored Core 6. Armored Core 6 was just so good, dude. Holy crap. And it was severely underrepresented in these awards, as we're going to be talking about soon, I guess. Next category, Best VR/AR.
Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR, and Synapse.
Did you play literally any of these?
Nope.
I played Horizon Call of the Mountain, and the other game that I played is not on this list. And I think it should have been because they've did some significant changes to it to the point where it deserves a mention because I think it is potentially the best VR game out there right now. And that game is No Man's Sky.
Oh.
No Man's Sky in VR is fucking phenomenal. They might need to do some tweaks about the control scheme, which is not perfect. But other than that, that game is amazing to play in VR. Horizon Call of the Mountain, like, I'm sorry, dude. I think that Guerrilla Games, they're fantastic developers, but that game is ass, dude. Like, I'm sorry.
I mean, I haven't played any of these, so I can't.
It feels twice as bad because, like, they sent me the VR thing. They sent me this game and a bunch of other games, and I was like, but listen, let me just explain something to all of the VR devs out there, okay? When about 60% of your game is doing this, that is not fun, okay? This is not fun.
There's like a cat scratching a tower.
I would rather go. Oh, right. People in the audio, you guys can't see. It's just me moving my hands up and down like I'm climbing a mountain. It's like, listen, I would rather go out to like a park or something that has like a climbing wall and climb a wall than to do this in VR. Okay, it's not nearly as satisfying.
Let's give it to Resident Evil Village VR because you can probably bury yourself in Vampire Mommy's breasts.
True. I actually wanted to check out Synapse, but I didn't have time because I think Synapse could have been a decent competitor here, but I don't actually know. But I believe
I like how the voting card is just big Vampire Mommy stepping on you perspective
because they know what the public wants.
They know what people want. Bury themselves in those bountiful bosom of evil.
Great, amazing chest ahead.
Yeah, literally. Best mobile game.
See, this is another one of those categories where all of them should lose. As a matter of fact, not only they should lose, they should have to pay a fine for losing. Anyway, Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I thought this was a joke. Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil. As far as I'm concerned, these are all terrible.
I've heard good things about Ever Crisis, but I would give it to Hello Kitty Island Adventure because I didn't think that was actually a real game.
Yes, I would give it to Hello Kitty Island Adventure as well. People are going to be mad. Why don't you give it to Monster Hunter Now? Because Niantic are terrible. I hate them. I don't want to give it to Monster Hunter Now. I wish the game didn't even make as much money as it did because Niantic don't deserve it. Capcom does, but Niantic doesn't. And it's a poor exploration of the IP, but whatever. Anyway, moving onwards. Best debut indie game. Ed?
Goon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, Viewfinder.
I played none of these.
Dredge was phenomenal.
Okay.
Dredge should win. You're just going around and fishing. Honestly, you should play Dredge. Dredge is like, it's such a just vibe game. It's like you're just going around with this little ship and getting parts on it and fishing and trawling and dredging up stuff, but it's in the deep. So there's like Cthulhu shit going on. Dredge is like a very, very fun experience.
I've seen you play it and it looks interesting. Do you get to like upgrade your boat or something? I'm assuming.
Yeah, you add new lights and engines and more cargo space. Dredge is a lot of fun. I would very much suggest you check it out on stream.
We'll see. All right. Next up, best independent game.
Just like the same thing?
No, because the other one is the best debut indie. That's when a developer releases an indie for the first time.
Okay. Well, yeah, Dredge. And then this is for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside of the traditional publisher system.
Yeah.
Cocoon, Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, Viewfinder.
So here's an interesting thing. Dave the Diver is technically speaking not an independent game because they have a publisher. And technically speaking, this is going to hurt some people, but Baldur's Gate 3 is an indie game. As is Cyberpunk. As is Cyberpunk, by the way.
Instead, let's just give this one to Sea of Stars because I've heard good things and they deserve some recognition, I think.
I agree. Sea of Stars should take this one for sure. We're on the same page. Next up, best community support. Oh boy, do I have things to say about this.
Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy 14, No Man's Sky.
So I would have liked to have seen Guild Wars 2 in here, but the thing is, mainstream media doesn't play MMOs a whole lot. The main reason they're playing 14 is because 14's gotten really popular over the last couple of years. So they're playing 14 and they're recognizing 14, which 14 deserves to be in the category. No Man's Sky also deserves it because they've done so many good updates, dude. I don't know if you've been keeping up with No Man's Sky. They've done a ton of stuff.
Never even played it.
You've never played No Man's Sky?
Nope.
Damn, dude. We should do like a co-op stream. Like I'll buy it on PC and we'll play it on PC, dude. Actually, no, I don't even have to because it has crossplay. Do you know that game has crossplay, dude? Like I was playing... I actually played, this is hilarious. I played with a friend of mine, and I'm playing on PlayStation 5, and he's playing through Xbox Game Pass. And it works seamlessly. I was like, what the hell?
That's some good crossplay.
Yeah.
I would,
So number one, Destiny needs to not be in this category.
Yeah, I've heard the community is very upset with Destiny at the moment. I don't play Destiny, but I've heard a lot of bad things now.
Not to mention that, like, look at what it says on the award. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game update patches. Listen, this is a company that fucking hates their player base, all right? They fucking hate them, and they milk them to death, dude. That's what they do. They've taken content away from this game. So, like, I think they've taken 3 or 4 expansions worth of content and they just got rid of it. They just deleted it. So if you bought it, it's like, well, too fucking bad. You can't play it anymore. How the fuck is this game even nominated for this shit, dude? Like, what the hell?
This is a tricky one for me because Larian's made some really good updates to Baldur's Gate, but it's kind of in the same vein as like Lords of the Fallen. Lords of the Fallen has been pumping patches left and right. Cyberpunk, I think the 2.0 update was phenomenal. I think it put Cyberpunk into the category of one of my favorite RPGs of all time. On one hand, that is phenomenal for the game, and it's good to see that it's finally there. But it's also kind of like, this is what it should have been.
Yeah,
so like,
when it released.
Congrats, you finally got to where it's at. So you did a good job getting there. But I'm not sure we should award devs finally reaching. I don't know. It's weird. Like, yes, you did a good job, but this is what you should have done to begin with.
I think that in this category, from the games that I am seeing, number one, I would have liked to have seen Guild Wars 2 in here. I don't know if they would have won because I don't know enough about all of the content, but I know they've been adding a bunch of content to their game. But out of the people in here, I think that potentially No Man's Sky should take it. Like 14 is also excellent with community support, but the thing about 14 is that
it's an MMO. It's an MMO. It should have fucking community support. You're paying every month for it.
Yeah, but the point that I'm trying to make is like the content is quality, but the only reason why I would give it to No Man's Sky over 14 is because the content in 14, the thing that they have is consistency. So it's like, listen, you're going to get this raid at this time, boom, and here it is. And now you're going to get this additional feature at this time, and here it is. So it's not like they're super breaking the mold and supporting their community. They're just like, they're consistently doing it, and they're consistent about it, which is cool.
Honestly, I think MMOs shouldn't even be in the community support category. They should be in an MMO category. I think MMOs have their own. They should have their own category. I agree. Which I absolutely think 14 would take that. But
that makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's an MMO. You're the fact that you're paying a monthly fee for ongoing content. There's an expectation of that content. I don't classify that as community support. I classify that as you doing your fucking job. Like we're paying every month for more content. I hope you're fucking adding that content in with games updates and patches.
Yep. So No Man's Sky should win this one. So yeah, I think that's that. Moving right along. Best ongoing.
Cyberpunk doesn't belong in this fucking category. But anyway, Apex Legends, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Genshin Impact.
Good
so
God.
I've heard Apex is in a shit state. I don't play it, but that's what I've heard. Cyberpunk should not be ongoing. Cyberpunk,
I agree. It's a single player game.
Yeah, it's a great change they made. Also not ongoing. It's not like Fortnite's been wild. I've been dabbling in Fortnite this year and I've had a lot of fun. Genshin Impact I couldn't play for more than like an hour before getting bored. So either Fortnite or
This is
14.
this is the thing about Genshin Impact. Like, I don't understand how there's so many people playing this game. I don't. Because, like, I've tried playing it and people think that I don't like it because of the gacha. I don't like it because the game's stamina system is garbage.
Yeah, I just didn't have fun with the combat at all. I was like,
I
this
liked
doesn't
the
loop me in
combat,
at all.
but like I was trying to explore the game and it was literally walk 10 seconds and then wait 30 seconds for your stamina to fill back up. And it's like, bro, what the fuck?
You won't like Alan Wake 1.
Okay. Good to know.
He jogs for about 10 seconds and then he's like,
it's like,
and you're like, God damn, this out of shape 40-something writer that's never done a lick of
again,
cardio in his life.
in the middle of this, I would have liked to have seen Guild Wars 2, but you know, it's not in there. It's whatever. I think that my vote would go to 14 because I don't like Fortnite. Yeah. I'm assuming you would go for Fortnite.
I don't know. Fortnite or 14. If we consider ongoing, which is closer to like an MMO category, I think 14 could take it. I haven't played Fortnite since Endwalker. I finished Endwalker.
You haven't played Fortnite since Endwalker? That must have been an interesting patch. I haven't played 14 since Endwalker. I don't know, man. Endwalker was such a, like, it felt like, you know, I finished the book. I've closed. My journey has come to an end, and I'm happy with it ending there. That's fine. But they're still coming out with more content. But yeah, I would give it to 14, 100%. I think that Genshin Impact, the way that they do their stamina is too annoying, so I don't care. And mostly they just want people to roll on their gacha systems. So yeah. Anyway, moving onwards. Games for Impact.
Space for the Unbound, Chats of Center, Goodbye Volcano High, Tisha, Caranel, and Venba.
Okay. I didn't play any of these. Did you?
No. I've heard Tisha is kind of cool.
It's like
world exploration, like Zelda Light.
I just realized something because I didn't really look at these games ahead of us doing, like, I didn't look at the categories. I've seen them before, but I didn't look at them ahead of us doing this podcast. And it's almost like, so this is supposed to represent gaming as a whole. And I would wager that between you and me, we play most of the games that have come out. And the fact that we go through a lot of these categories, like, yep, didn't touch a single one of those games. Isn't that just kind of weird?
Yeah, I've heard good things about Tisha, but it's kind of hard for me to vote on.
Chia wins. There you go. That's our contribution. Chia wins.
Heard good things.
Innovation and accessibility.
Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6.
I think, considering that usually the Sony games, they do excellent stuff with that, I think it'll be hard to top Spider-Man 2. But I don't know, because I've also heard good things from Street Fighter.
What did Diablo 4 do in terms of accessibility?
I don't know. It put people in wheelchairs? I fucking know, dude.
Well, I don't remember, like,
I don't think they had any particular
slew of accessibility options in Diablo 4.
Yeah,
let's give it to Spider-Man 2.
They probably have like a colorblind mode, I would imagine, and that's like their claim to fame. They added one colorblind mode. We're accessible. Fucking still have to manually run to each piece of goddamn loot. All right.
No auto gold pickup.
Spider-Man 2 will probably take that one. Best performance. Okay, this one's more interesting.
This one's hard. Ben Starr, Clive, Final Fantasy 16. Cameron Montague, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, played Cal.
Yep.
Idris Elba, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty. Menely Libert from Alan Wake 2. Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate 3. I believe that's Astarion.
That's Astarion, yeah.
And then Yuri Lothal from Marvel Spider-Man 2. I would, hands down, I think I got to give this to my boy Ben Starr.
It's very hard for me in this category. This category is very hard for me because I also think that Clive kind of sweeps. But bro, I got to tell you, I hate Astarion with a burning passion. Like, I hate that character. I killed him I killed him in 3 different ways to make sure he stayed dead. Okay, because I fucked up killing him the first 2 times, so I had to go.
I think. One. I mean, I had it now. So to be fair, I'm a little biased because I got a chance to meet Ben Starr at the event in London.
Yeah,
but like that dude had so much passion for the role.
He is a super chill dude. Like, I remember there was like this Twitter thing that happened around the Barbie Oppenheimer thing. And so I made a Twitter post and I tagged him and I said, okay, now we just need Clive to say 1 ticket for Barbie and 1 ticket from Oppenheimer. And he did it. He just straight up filmed it and did it. So he's just like one of the coolest dudes. And I loved the character. Like, I loved Final Fantasy 16. It's amazing.
There was a thing with this dude Andy. I don't remember if he does Games Done Quick, but it's this dude I know on Twitter, and he had this stupid video where he's playing Final Fantasy 16, and he's cropped out Clive's mouth and replaced it with his own, and he's like trying to do a Clive impression, and Ben Starr hops into the Discord midstream, and he's like, "What are you doing, Andy? You know you're not. Everyone knows that's not Clive. You have a small petite mustache, like that of a creepy uncle." Nothing like my own. I'm like, oh my god, this is some fucking peak comedy. So I'd give it to Ben Starr.
Yeah, I think that Clive takes it ultimately, but like big mention for Neil Newbon, because like the thing is, people might think because I don't like Asterion, that makes it like a bad character. It's the other way around. The fact that I feel so strongly about the character means that he played that character really, really well. But I should also say, sorry, Neil, but my future playthroughs of Baldur's Gate 3, you're getting the friggin' what's it called? The steak.
I think some things are weird. Like Idris Elba did like a fantastic job in Phantom Liberty, but it was just like Idris Elba playing Idris Elba. It felt like, so it's a little weird because I'm like, this isn't, like, you do a great job at playing yourself, sir. I'm very like, and he has one of those good voices. Yeah. Not quite like Morgan Freeman level, but very close. But it's, I don't know. I feel like, Ben Starr acting a character, I think I have more appreciation for that than Idris Elba playing Idris Elba, who is this character in Cyberpunk.
Yeah. So yeah, best luck to Clive. We hope Clive wins. But again, big honorable mention for Neil Newbon. Really, really good job with Asterion for sure. Okay, next up we have Best Audio Design.
Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4.
Okay, so get Dead Space the fuck out of here and put Armored Core 6.
I would still give this, I think, I would give it to Hi-Fi Rush here for audio.
Probably, but put Armored Core 6 in there. Like, I don't care. Like, dude, you're talking about like a remake of a game that came out in like, what, 2000 God knows when?
Well, it's the same as like Resident Evil 4. Like, I don't even know.
Resident Evil 4,
I liked
same
both
thing.
of these games. I don't know why they're in here for audio design. Same with Spider-Man. There wasn't anything about Spider-Man's audio that particularly like.
It was good. It was good though. I thought it was good. I don't mind Spider-Man getting it. I don't mind. I mean, getting the nomination, not the win. Alan Wake. What was Alan Wake 2 like? Was it any good? I mean, because you even complained about the audio earlier in this podcast. You're like, man,
the audio made me angry.
Kept spamming wake
in my ear.
Wake.
Yeah,
I'm gonna trigger a PTSD response.
The audio in the game, if Alan Wake wins, it's the same way that like Cersei from Game of Thrones would get best character because you fucking hate her. Like, you did an excellent job at making me despise you. Congrats.
Okay, good job.
That's why Alan Wake would win. But I feel like Hi-Fi Rush just did, such a good fusion of audio and action.
I think that Armored Core 6 definitely deserved. Don't you think that the audio in Armored Core 6 was friggin' amazing? Like, that was one of the first things that when they were going through this category, I was like, what the hell do you mean you're not going to nominate Armored Core 6? The music is awesome. The sounds are awesome. And they're super immersive. And it's really well done. So I don't...
The impact when you're rushing it. Boom.
Dude,
like,
listen,
the sound of a pile bunker drilling into something is...
Listen, I will just tell you the best sound mixing, like one of the best sounds you've heard all year. Okay? The Ice Worm fight. I won't miss. Boom! Bro, it's so good! Like,
yeah.
here's the thing. Hi-Fi Rush, amazing. None of these games touches that moment. None of them.
It's the Placidusax drop of Armored Core.
It's so good, dude. It is.
I'd put it right there with like the Safi Jiva Sapphire Star moment.
Yeah.
With the Placidusax sound cutout lightning nuke moment.
Yeah. It's super well done, and I think it's downright disrespectful, but it is what it is. Well, I would vote for Hi-Fi Rush as well. It's really, really good. But yeah, moving on, we have Best Score and Music.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, so number 1, Armored Core 6 could have been in here as well, easily, and potentially even Lies of P. I feel like they've had categories where they've nominated 6 games. You could have put another game in here. I don't understand why that happened. But yeah, those two I would definitely mention just straight off the bat. Lies of P and Armored Core 6. Like, I really enjoyed the records in Lies of P. Although technically speaking, it's not score because they don't play those records while you're playing the game. These are just things that you collect and create really good ambience. But like, even just the nomination, I think would have been nice. But Armored Core 6 easily deserves to be in here. Easily. Do you agree? Disagree?
I think sound in Armored Core 6. Music was pretty good, but I think there's like two, like I have the Armored Core OST, and there's like, I think 4 tracks that I like really vibe to with it, and the rest are more like background music.
Okay. What about Alan Wake? Do you think that the music in Alan Wake was worthy of this?
They did have completely original music for the game, which
that's not saying much. They had completely original music. Okay.
They had old guards of Asgard do original like rock songs for the game.
Okay.
Like there's like a part at the end where they're just like performing a whole ass concert while you're fighting a bunch of shit, and you're like, this is epic. And then you think that's the end of the game, and then it's like, no, just kidding. We have more Wake coming your way. But I would still give it to 16 because
16. Yep. I agree. I think 16 is by far the best one. Even if these other 2 games that I was mentioning, Lies of P and even if they were here, 16 should still completely just sweep this. No ifs, ands, or buts. I will mention, though, because you didn't play Tears of the Kingdom all the way, the soundtrack of Tears of the Kingdom is very much backloaded. So like in the beginning, you don't hear a lot of it. But when you start getting to the end and then the final boss fights and stuff like that, they really crank it up. And it's also very good. It's like, it's still not on the, like if we look at this list, I would go, first comes 16, second comes Baldur's Gate 3, and third comes Hi-Fi Rush. So it's still not on the level of these.
Maybe I'll finish 2. So let me see if I still have...
Because like it was good. It was like particularly the final battle. I was like, whoa, this is. Where was the soundtrack during the rest of it was one of those moments to me that was like, where was the soundtrack during the rest of the game, bro? You guys saved everything for the end? A lot of people are never going to listen to this. And it's real. I thought it was really good.
I still have my Tears of the Kingdom emulation, so maybe when things slow down, I'll go back to it.
Yeah, but like in here, 100% 16. But I think that Baldur's Gate 3 is also very, very good. Particularly like the music in House of Hope.
Yeah, there's House of Hope is that one slaps.
Yeah.
There's
and then there's Down by the River, which is the character creator. And there's probably stuff that you didn't hear because you didn't play as a bard. The bard also gets its own music.
I'm playing as a bard right now. Yeah. In my co-op run, I'm playing as a bard. I frequently I'll take all my actions and then
you'll play music.
And then I'll forget and they'll be like, Bill, can you end your turn? And I'm like, oh yeah, here you go. And then somebody will interrupt my playing and I'm like, now you fucked up.
Yep. It was to me it was usually like right before I'm about to kill a dude, I was like, let me sing you the song of my people. Boom, 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 boom. And then I'd kill him. It's so good, dude. I love that. That's such a nice detail. But yeah. 16 sweeps. Soken is a beast. Nobody messes with Soken. It's that easy. Okay, next up. Best Art Direction.
Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Again, where's Armored Core 6? Where is it?
Don't like mechs, man.
Where's Armored Core? You know what it is? Let me tell you what it is, Cowboy. If only Armored Core 6 was in Unreal Engine 5, it would have been done. I'm never going to let that go, dude. I'm never going to let that go. Especially after like the launch of Remnant 2, which by the way, I love Remnant 2. The launch was not very good. And
dude,
the launch of Lords of the Fallen, exactly. Like, especially after those two games this year, I will never let that go. Yeah, you know.
Guess
Armored
what
Core
Lies of P
6
was in?
That wasn't. Wasn't that 4? I think Lies of P was in 4.
Unreal 4.
It was on 4. Yeah. Okay. So was Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor was Unreal Engine 4 as well. But Lies of P didn't have any problems.
It didn't have exactly. That's the funny thing.
Yeah,
the Unreal 4 game.
Yeah.
Works fine.
But yeah.
I would give this to Lies of P though. I think the art direction, the clockwork, Bloodborne-esque design was very.
I've mentioned this in the past, just so because I know people can say, is Rurikhan just copying Cowboy? No, I've actually mentioned this in my video that I was very impressed with, not even just like the clockwork vibe, but the overall art style and ambience that the game gives out. I think they've done a fantastic job with the art style of that game. So yeah, I would give it to Lies of P in here as well. Did you play Super Mario Bros. Wonder, by the way? It's also very good. It's very good in terms of art style. The reason I wouldn't give it to Legend of Zelda is like Breath of the Wild already won that like God knows how many years ago. Yeah. And this is kind of like the same in terms of art style. But again, I feel like Armored Core 6 should have definitely been there easily. I'm looking at my list.
Hi-Fi Rush is really cool art, but
it is.
You know, stylistic games like that usually don't take categories.
But it's like it's even not just about whether or not usually they take categories. It's more like comparing it with all of these, I would still go for Lies of P over Hi-Fi Rush, even though it looks good.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
But yeah, we'd go Lies of P on here. Then next we have Best Narrative.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Does Alan Wake deserve this award? This nomination, I mean?
I think it got a little convoluted towards the end, but the writing was pretty good. But the end, I think it tripped on its own feet and fell on its face.
I'm gonna be that guy, like a broken fucking record. Where's Armored Core 6?
Armored Core should be.
Like you remember when you saw those tweets?
It's because mech games don't have mass appeal. Like Armored Core is my personal game of the year. I loved it. I have right now. Let me see how many hours I have played in Armored Core. I just hosted a very successful tournament for Armored Core. I have almost 300 hours played in it. I love Armored Core, but mech games don't get nominated.
But it's like, to me, the situation is like,
it's because Geoff is afraid that the mechs would take over his game show.
No, but like even the God damn it. I just heard a strange noise, so I kind of lost my train of thought for a second there. There's somebody making noise in the warehouse. I don't know where or why. But I was thinking something about Armored Core 6. Oh yeah, you remember those tweets that went out from some content creators saying that the game didn't have story?
Yeah. Yeah, I just blocked
I was like,
person.
No,
I'm not reading this.
I'm just wondering, did we play the same game? Like, what? What do you mean?
I get in arguments with a lot of people, but takes that brain dead. I just block them and I move on. I'm like, nope, I'm not engaging with you. You're too fucking dumb. You are beyond hope.
Yeah. So
this one's hard for me though. I would give it's between Baldur's Gate and Phantom Liberty, because Phantom Liberty's narrative is like wild.
Give me just a minute. In the warehouse, like the section that I'm on, it's got like really thin walls. And basically my dad and my kid were kicking the ball into the walls. So I'm just like, I'm sitting over here trying to record the podcast. And I'm boom, boom. I was like, bro, what the hell? Stop. Like, what's wrong with you? But anyway, you were saying that Cyberpunk would take it for you?
Possibly. I don't know, man. The thing with Baldur's Gate 3 is there's so many narratives to explore that it's like just a monument in modern gaming, I think. But Cyberpunk's story like really fucking pulled me in.
So here's
Phantom Liberty story is just super good.
So here's the thing, right? Best narrative says for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game, right? I love the storytelling in Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't like the story. And that's not to say the story is bad. I think the story is fantastic. It's just not for me. I still want to play it.
I would give it to Phantom Liberty. Just I'm thinking there were moments in Phantom Liberty where I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't have moments like that in Baldur's Gate.
But the thing is, I would still give it to Baldur's Gate 3, despite the fact that I'm not even the biggest fan of the story because of like some of the themes that they go in and whatnot. And but I just think that the way in which they tell it and all of the little stories that you get and just the absolute freedom that you get with it, where you can basically do whatever the hell you want. It's like, I don't like this guy. Fuck him. I'm going to kill him. Or, oh, I like this dude. I want to make sure he doesn't die. You know, I think that is fantastic, and they do a fantastic job with it. So, yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 would take it. The second one for me would have been 16. I love the story in 16. Really, really good.
I love the story until the end. I get it. It's very on par for course. Fight the god. But I think the first 2/3 of story in 16 were better when it was still, very Game of Thrones-esque, very Interkingdom War. And then it's like, hey, the big bad is actually just some broke bitch that's controlled by a god. I was kind of like, I think Barnabas deserved more.
I think that's fair. But yeah, so you'd go Cyberpunk, I would go Baldur's Gate 3. Next up, we have Best Game Direction. Oh, here comes the broken record again. Go ahead.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Bros., Legends of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
So let's see. Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Okay, maybe I wouldn't. Maybe not for this one. I think it's fine.
I'm gonna do a little bit off of what I've been doing here. For innovation and design, I think I would give it to Legend of Zelda. Because the sheer freedom, the freedom in coming up with your like weird fucking physics creations to overcome whatever problem is in front of you, I think that's unmatched. Despite all the other complaints I have about Zelda, the fact that you can build Godzilla if you want to fight stuff, that's some pretty wild game design there.
I would have actually liked to have seen another game on here. Remnant 2. I think the way in which they designed the game is that good. Because you start the game, you can start on one of 3 worlds. Each world has 2 stories. The amount of replayability that you can get out of that game is absolutely insane. Yeah. If you look at Remnant 2, I think a lot of people would potentially even say, oh, it's kind of like a looter shooter. The thing is, when you have a lot of looter type games, it mostly devolves into, oh, this thing gives you plus 2% of this meaningless stat. This one gives you plus 5% of some other meaningless stat, right? Whereas whenever you pick up a piece of loot in Remnant 2, that's like potentially a build-defining piece of loot.
Well, there are those 2% stat boosts in Remnant 2 as well.
Very rarely. Very rarely.
No, you have a ton of them. The relics that you connect to your heart.
Okay, so I'm talking about
2.71893% reload speed.
I'm talking about like, because that's relic stuff. I wasn't even worrying about. I'm talking about like rings, guns, that really stuff. Those are build defining whenever you pick them up. The relic stuff. I think
I think that's just par for course on games like that. You want,
But I think that for me, if that game was in here, that would have taken it. I agree with you on the Zelda thing. But I would probably still give it for Baldur's Gate 3. Because of the sheer amount, because like you have a lot of ways in which you can solve things in Zelda. True.
Yeah.
You also have a ton of ways in which you can solve things in Baldur's Gate, like barrelmancy.
No, you can. Like, yeah, Baldur's Gate. I mean, it's hard. Like Baldur's Gate. I think the reason I give it to Zelda over Baldur's Gate here, I think the changes to the physics system with like the hand and making whatever the hell you want in Zelda, I think was a bigger step between the first Zelda game and the second one.
It was massive.
Compared to the jump we saw from like say
Divinity
Original Sin 2 to Baldur's Gate 3. I think Baldur's Gate 3 has I think there's more jumps in terms of story changes. Like you can kill a lot more people, or sneak, or brute force, or throw your rogue friend through the door, or whatever the case is. But the gameplay itself still follows that same
You know what?
methodology.
You've convinced me. I'm gonna go with Legend of Zelda as well. Yeah, I agree.
Because
Because like I wasn't looking
now
at
people
it.
Can't say people can't say I'm a Nintendo hater any longer. I gave Zelda one.
No, but it's like I didn't think of it in terms of like Divinity Original Sin, but like yeah, if you bring Divinity Original Sin 2 and the things that I'm looking at, you make a good point. The thing that they've definitely innovated in is the way in which they tell the story, the outcomes, and the camera angles that you get for the storytelling. But yeah, in terms of like raw creative stuff that you can do with gameplay, then yeah. And it's interesting because it also goes to all those people that said, Tears of the Kingdom's just a DLC. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's always been, even despite my complaints, I've always thought those people are morons.
Yep. So, next up, we have the last category, Game of the Year.
Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay, first question. This one's going to be predictable for you. Does Alan Wake 2 deserve to be here?
No, it does not. Absolutely not.
Okay, well, there we go. There you have it. So, Baldur's...
I also think Resident Evil 4 doesn't. I had a hot take on Twitter, but I think remakes should be in their own category.
Yep, I agree.
I think Resident Evil 4 was a 5 out of 5 game. I think it's phenomenal. It's my favorite Resident Evil to date. I also don't think it's fair to compare a game with an established setting and story and characters who we have nostalgia and love for to brand new IPs that took a risk, like Baldur's Gate 3.
Yep, agreed. I don't think... I think that remakes should get their own category, so it could be there with... I think the problem with that is that sometimes you don't have enough remakes in a year to fill up that category.
Oh, make it remakes and remasters. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
Either way, I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 sweeps this for me.
Yep, Baldur's Gate 3 sweeps, but I would have liked to have seen a nomination for Armored Core 6 and Remnant 2. But
yeah, I mean, my Armored Core 6 is that's my personal game of the year. Yeah. I think from a review perspective, and I think from what it offers, I do think Baldur's Gate 3 is a more proper game of the year winner. But in terms of like what I played the most this year and what I enjoyed the most this year, nothing came close to Armored Core 3.
3?
Armored Core 6. I'm bad with numbers, man.
Yeah,
I'm bad.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I agree. I think we take out Alan Wake 2 and Resident Evil 4, put in Armored Core 6 and Remnant 2. I would have also liked to have seen, I would have put Final Fantasy 16 above Spider-Man 2, personally.
Yeah, I think
that would have been an easy one as well. And for me, my personal game of the year is going to go to Remnant 2. I like Remnant 2 that much. It's just really, really good. Like, I could actually just boot it up right now and play it some more. Because I still haven't done everything. I haven't gotten everything. It's that good. It's a really good friggin' game. Like I said, I did the Apocalypse mode run, and I did the Hardcore mode run, which I never do hardcore runs on games. I did a hardcore run for Remnant 2.
I can't do hardcore runs. They are too sweaty for me. I'm not a big like challenge run guy though.
I mean, it's not that hard. It's just a matter of getting lucky. It's a matter of planning and getting lucky. But yeah, I would have definitely taken it for Remnant 2. But with the games that we have here, I think it's an easy win for Baldur's Gate 3. And I think they deserve it too. Because they've done a fantastic job with the game. I think they 100% deserve it. And I think that they will actually win it too. They better, because dude, if Alan Wake 2 wins, I'm going to be
oh my God.
I'm going to be mad. Because like, we've talked about, I haven't played Alan Wake. I'm not a fan of Alan Wake, but I've asked you because you liked Alan Wake 1 and you played the game and you're telling me,
dude,
like,
I
a lot of these
liked it so much.
categories.
I went back and I played the DLC, the old ass DLC, because I wanted more of it.
So it's like, you even said that in a lot of these categories, it doesn't even deserve to be there. So I'm just like, bro, what the hell? But anyways, guys, that is our Game of the Year discussion. We will have another podcast after the Game Awards because to talk about who won and to talk about the games that are coming out next year. But I did tell you that I had one more thing to tell you.
I got one more thing too.
Okay, go ahead.
So it's flown under the radar for a lot of people. December 1st, Dragon Quest Monsters 3 drops.
Is that any good?
They have a free demo on the eShop, and I've already clocked 20 hours in the demo because it lets me carry 8 monsters over to the main game.
Wait, on the eShop, you're going to play it on the Nintendo Switch?
It's only on the Switch. That's how excited I am for this game. I'm busting out the Switch. It's like, but the thing is, so we've talked about like Pokemon before and how I feel that Game Freak just kind of drags their dick in the dirt.
Oh yeah,
upgrading.
Pokemon
it's
is
like
terrible.
Imagine a Pokemon game, but if it was actually good. It's closer to like Shin Megami Tensei.
It's called Monster Hunter Stories 2. I've said the exact same thing.
Anyway,
it's like Pokemon if it was good.
Yeah, check out Dragon Quest Monsters. Play the demo, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck, because the whole thing is it's like Shin Megami Tensei in the sense that you catch monsters and then you keep fusing them to make bigger, scarier monsters. And there's even like unique fusions you can do. So like right now, I have this thing called like Mech Hunter. It's like it has like a sword, a saber in one hand, and like a crossbow arm on the other, and it gets like 2 attacks per turn. And it's like a 10-step fusion process to get to this thing. But like back in the day, I played the originals back on like Game Boy, and like you could fuse all the way up to like Nocturnus, who's like typically the final boss in Dragon Quest games. So eventually you're like, okay, my party is made of a metallic golden gem slime who is immune to pretty much every damage. We have the dark god of the Dragon Quest series, and here's the dragon of eternal time, and this is my party.
Seems reasonable.
Like nobody seems to be aware it's coming out, and I'm super excited for it.
I don't know. It's like the Pokemon games. I only really ever played in those styles is Monster Hunter Stories.
I think it's we're coming up on December. It's a relatively slow time. You need a good cozy game to sit in bed and play on the Switch. And
dude,
baby.
I'm playing Guild Wars 2 right now. That's
after you were talking about it, I went and looked at gameplay of it, and it reminds me of like OG WoW, like not like WoW Classic, but like WoW when it first released with the goofy ass character models.
No.
Guild Wars 2?
No, I think you're mistaking it. But anyway, listen.
There's a video from 1 year ago. It looks super potato-y.
That's probably because that person's playing it with crappy graphics. It doesn't look that bad. All right, here we go. Guild
Wars 2. This one's 7 months ago. It has some edgy character. Let's see what this looks like.
Edgy looking character, like a human? No, probably like a char.
No,
or something.
this still looks very.
I mean, look.
Scrolled out.
It is like a 2012 game, and people play it like all zoomed out and stuff, which is not what I'm doing. It's just a super chill game to play through. It's because I'm in my MMO mode right now. I feel like playing MMOs. Like I'm gonna jump into the whole Season of Discovery thing in World of Warcraft, which is a terrible idea.
I've heard a lot of people hyping it up, but I know nothing about it.
What, Season of Discovery?
Yeah.
So imagine classic WoW, except some things are going to be different. Like, for instance, you can pick up a special rune that you put in your pants, and now your warlock can tank. You can pick a special rune that you put in your gloves, and now your mage can heal. That's kind of like some of the new things that can happen in it. And
when is this coming out, though?
Wait. And the level cap is 25 for the first couple of weeks, and they're making a new raid at level 25.
Looks like this releases November 30th?
Yes, November 30th. So that's going to collide with your Dragon Quest monster situation. I'm going to play it.
I could potentially be persuaded to join you in this effort.
Dude,
well, but this depends, Rory. Are you a filthy fucking Alliance member?
See, I already knew this. Like, listen.
You disgust me.
I love dwarves.
Yeah,
okay?
You like that chubby little dwarf cock. I know. You don't gotta tell me anymore. That's funny. I used to play Alliance back in the day. Back in the day, I played Alliance. Okay, and then I went to Horde, and I was like, you know what? Our city layout may not be as good, but the player base on the Horde side is infinitely better.
Oh no! Let me just tell you right there. Like, Alliance, they always turn war mode off. Like, I'm an Alliance dude, and I want to have war mode on, and it always ends up with there being like 5 hordes on top of me, and there might be another Alliance member leveling nearby. He won't even flinch, dude. He'll get on his mount and run. All right? Like, they don't even try fighting. So I understand. But the thing is, I like dwarves. Like, listen. But the biggest thing, though, is we can't play together because you're on North America and I'm on EU.
Rip.
They don't have cross-region realms. That technology is too advanced. But anyway, that's not the news that I was talking about. I bought a PC to have at home.
Just for...
So that I'm no longer just like everything that comes out. I'm like, well, I have to play it on console because I don't have PC. But this part you're not going to like. I went Team Red again, bro. I can't do it. Like, bro, listen. Let me tell you something, okay? Do you know how much a 4090 costs?
I know.
Isn't that just the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? You're telling me that for the price of a 4090, I can buy 2 of the top tier cards from AMD? Does this seem reasonable?
No, it doesn't, but AMD
it's ridiculous.
Is also a potato. Actually, I just logged in.
No.
Apparently Blizzard updated there's a BattleNet app now instead of the Authenticator app. My thing says the Authenticator app is going away, and it's like, you need to get the BattleNet app. But the BattleNet app required me to use the Authenticator to log in.
I don't know, dude. Why are you even logging into WoW right now, dude? I
just wanted to see what kind of characters I had. Wow, I just want to see what I had. I just want to take a look.
All of my characters are dwarves. It's not hard. It's like my main was a warrior. Yeah. I don't play other races. I just play dwarf. Like, that's the thing. Like, that's the reason why I want to play World of Warcraft, is because name me one current MMO that has dwarves on it. Just one.
I don't play a lot of MMOs.
Yeah, you can't name them because they don't exist. It's World of Warcraft, and then there's like Lord of the Rings, which you were complaining about the visuals on Guild Wars 2. Wait until you see Lord of the Rings online.
I can't even log into Battle. I got to figure out this stupid fucking app.
Yeah, dude. But I got a new PC so that I can actually have a PC at home now. That thing was expensive as hell, but if I had put a 4090 on it, it would have been twice the price. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. I wanted to get a 4090 real bad, dude, but it's like, I've heard that ATI are doing better with their video encoder though, so I'll get to test that out.
Hopefully it does better.
Yep, hopefully it does.
I'll see if the boys are going to play this season of Discovery, because I'll need something to just eat up stream time.
Oh yeah, that would probably be perfect for stream. But yeah, that's the stuff that I'm working on. I'm more interested in working on a couple of podcasts than going on a new series right now. I'm acclimating at the calmness right now, because it was too much this year, dude. Need to chill out. But it'll be interesting to talk after the Game Awards, because I've been looking up all of the games that are coming out next year. And it'll be interesting to see how many of these get a release date.
How many of them actually get, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I expect it to be pretty wild.
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch of stuff. Like, I have a whole ass big list of stuff that's coming out. You gonna play Helldivers, by the way?
It looks like it could be fun.
Yeah, it's a shame it's so close to Granblue Fantasy Relink. Listen, you got to play that. I'm telling you, that's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth your time. Granblue Fantasy Relink, dude.
I will check it out.
All right. Okay, team. That's gonna be it. There's gonna be links to Cowboy stuff in the description below. You're going to be playing Dragon Quest Monsters pretty soon on your channel, I assume, right?
You're goddamn right I am.
That's what you can expect. And yeah, we'll reconvene after the Game Awards at some point to talk about the future and all of that stuff. But for now, that's it. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong. Stay safe.
Peace out.